This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the stream ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
Blue, please.
Okay, well, there it is. Choice has been made. All right,
Good night,
see you, everybody. No, it's not quite. We should probably finish this. Finish what we started. It is the Bad Game Hall of Fame promise, isn't it? Is that we finish what we start. Hello, Charky. Hello, Bag.
Hey, Cass.
It is time. The time has come to reach the end of Enter the Matrix, or at least the end of Niobe's campaign in Enter the Matrix.
We're not going to quite exit the Matrix yet.
No, there's still going to be a fourth episode where we get to all the fun hacking stuff, maybe some of the unlockables there, polish off, see the end of Ghost's campaign as well. But this is going to be effectively like, the final episode of the campaign that we are primarily playing through, for whatever that's worth. Anyway, just, you're here. That's all that matters. You're watching. You're watching this, you presumably watched the 2 previous episodes, and you're probably committed at this point. So we got you. The Matrix has you. Enter the Matrix has you, and as does the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Hot damn. I'm looking forward to this, believe it or not. Still, to this day, I'm still excited to see more of Enter the Matrix. I'm compelled, even after that sewer level, that was pretty dodgy in the last episode.
Yeah.
Well, the sewer level was followed up by the vampire level, so,
You take the good with the bad.
Yeah, peaks and valleys is the experience of this game.
No, go ahead. Just go ahead. I'm just looking at volume levels.
Yeah, no, I'll say I'm looking forward to this one as well, because at the start, when we started the streams, I was afraid I was going to play through this and it was going to shatter my little bag dreams of what this game was like. And the sewer level was
it was a test of faith, to be sure.
Yeah, but I've still been having a lot of fun with this one.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this ends, because like I said, I played this game. I liked it when I was a kid, but I don't remember the ending. So I'm curious where it goes. My memories of it stops at the highway chase scene.
That's a fair place for it to stop, I guess. Who's to say that you didn't even just fall off the game completely at that point?
Oh no, I know I finished it because I went and did all the hacking shit afterwards.
All right, fair enough. But speaking of quitting before the job is done, one thing we know that you'll never quit. But one thing we know that we'll always show up for, we'll never quit before this. Our viewers, they may quit immediately after this segment, but they are here for it. They are here. We are all here for Charky's Stream Snack.
All right, so I still don't have an oven, so I had to make do. So I went out and I got myself a treat. Not like a really savory or necessarily a filling one, but I got Q3 Mochi Roll, which is a matcha
Quake 3
mochi.
Arena, yes, I'm familiar.
Oh, see, I was going to make the joke they managed to get that out for Q3, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tail end, but...
It's a matcha mochi roll wrapped around a red bean paste, which is wrapped around like a milk kind of center.
Oh, that does sound good.
So let's give that a try. Oh, I haven't had a mochi roll in so long.
You know what I
That
had
is
the other
very
day? This is a brief cast stream snack update. I went to I'm not going to name the place, but they had what they called moon pies.
Oh yeah,
which are frozen. Apparently, they're like super cold. They're like basically like frozen through little treats, like little mango.
Not used to them being frozen.
It was super cold. I know that much. Maybe like they were meant to be thawed or cooked, and we just got them like right out the freezer. But it was fun. Tasty little thing. It's new taste on the tongue.
I forgot what crews around here do it, but during Mardi Gras, there's some crews that during the parades, they'll throw out wrapped moon pies out to the crowd. I really don't remember what crew does that. Anyway, so that's not all. The mochi, sort of like delicious. The milk on the inside kind of tastes like those cowtail caramel snack things. Anyway, our drink tonight is, as usual for this game, Ghost Sour Patch Kids Blue Raspberry.
Oh,
So let us give that a try.
could be good.
That tastes exactly like a Sour Patch Kids. Not too sour. It's on the maybe a little bit more sour than a lemonade, but it's not like a warhead where I'm going to regret drinking this.
Well, that's good. We wouldn't want you to regret it.
Mhm.
Yes. So that's the stream snack.
That is the stream stack. Unless Bag is anything.
Woo! Woo! Sorry, I had a mark out moment there.
No, that's fair. No, it's incredible being there live for it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is
No,
transformative.
I have a small Lexus strawberry flavored chocolate round ball thing, just in case.
Just in
and
case.
that's it. Yeah.
All right, very good. And I'm drinking.
Got it in your teeth like a cyanide capsule. Just like bite down and like, oh,
Yeah.
strawberry.
I am drinking tonight, but you know what I'm not doing tonight? Hold on one second. I'm not smoking. I quit smoking again. I'm losing my fucking mind currently.
Please stay not smoking.
I'm only a day into it again. But oy vey, this is the toughest one so far. This has been the toughest 24 hours. Anyway.
Ever think of a nicotine patch?
Anyway, whoop, that's the wrong.
Whoops.
We don't want to show that just yet.
Oh, yeah. Video Game King does point out that I took the blue pill at the start of the stream, and the blue raspberry is my drink.
How apropos. The time has come for us to look at this file that Bag sent us. This is Ghost Story Part 2. Which
brought to you by Ghost Blue Raspberries Sour Patch Kids.
Sponsored, yeah, no, sponsored content, absolutely. We definitely don't get in trouble for saying that either, so we'll just keep doing that bit. This is the part of the show where we see what happened parallel to Niobe's story in Ghost's campaign. So I'm going to hit play on this in a second, and then you're going to walk us through it, Bag?
Yeah.
All right, very good. Oh, thank Christ.
Yep. Don't worry. Luckily, we don't have to go through that again. I recorded the whole thing. It's identical. It was a waste of time.
Very good, I guess. This place looks familiar.
Moo.
Yeah, I don't know why Ghost just knew from the start he would need a wooden stake.
With this, I can go build a chair. Door.
I do not know why that subtitle comes up, because that's not what the enemy says.
I thought that's what Ghost was saying.
So, I mentioned this when we were playing this area as a Niobe, that there were also werewolf facsimiles in the Matrix. And as far as I can tell, that's primarily what Ghost fights in this stage.
Still killing
he
them
does
with
go
wooden
for a very
stakes,
different
though.
route. Yep, yeah, it's... I guess they both of them don't like wood. But I wanted to show off some
Incredible
interactivity.
physics.
Yeah.
The chair had like.
Oh yeah, check this out. Listen to the pots and pans. Actually picked up the pots and pans getting shot there.
Oh yeah, some Blue Man Group up in here.
I just love they went for all this. Like this was before you had a physics middleware to
offload a lot of this effort, a lot of this work. No, immersive environments.
Yeah, any ice buckets in here you could kick?
Okay, what are these?
Billiards tables?
Without the holes.
Without the holes? Or billiards
See,
balls?
Did they forget the holes, or am I stupid and this is for something else?
No, it's for you know how you put the bumpers in the lanes in bowling, like for little kids.
Yeah.
It's like that for the pool for when the kids want to play billiards.
Okay, so this is a separate encounter that Ghost has here. And also, I don't know if there was much guns used when we did this level as Niobe.
Really weren't, no, because the enemy, the vampires would just dodge them.
Well, the vampires also woo.
Yeah.
The vampires also, I think, just came at you with their fists in Niobe's. version.
This is the gimmick with this area, is just break through all the windows. So I wanted to show some of that.
You know, if this were a modern era game, you would get an achievement for breaking every single pane of glass in this room.
Yep. Ah, okay. So yeah, you start a level, you fall down a hole here, and I kept this in because I'm curious if anyone can guess how you get out of here.
Up and over?
Punch a wall.
Is that the case?
Well, there you go.
I found that by accident.
Yeah, I would put a button prompt there. I would just have, like, for players who were less clever, meaning me, I'd have gotten stuck there and been like, what the fuck? How do I get out of here?
Maybe one drop of yellow paint.
just the bucket. It's not even painted yet. They haven't gotten to it yet, but that's the hint in itself.
Just a dab will do you. Also, I kept this bit in because check the right side of the screen here.
Oh, what a beautiful world
nice.
out there.
Yeah. So did Ghost not get tied up like Niobe did?
No. And whatever weird ritual that Vampire was doing to her, like, that never comes up.
Does the
Pretty
fire
much.
actually hurt these enemies at all, or is it purely cosmetic?
Yeah, so the way these enemies work is that they have a health bar that they kind of, like you, regens, but when you empty it, they get to a stun state, and that's when you can do this kill move.
I figured like the fire would basically be like a poison status effect on them.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm showing this. This is part of the hacking fin map there, where you can make weapon drops happen. Like there. What happened here, though, is I was a bit confused, because in that map, if you look at where it says the weapon drops are, it's not here. So I was like, okay, are those different weapons? So I tried to jump over to one of these balconies, and it
went really
turns
well.
out they don't let you. And apparently Ghost can't survive that jump. Also, yes, the double audio bug is still there.
Ever present.
I just found this funny. You can throw him over this ledge, but they'll just climb back over.
They ain't going out like you.
You know, the more I watch you play of this game in total, the less I'm sure if I played Niobe or Ghost campaign when I played through this originally. Because in both instances, there's stuff like, I remember that, and oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah. I definitely played Ghost. I would have messed with Niobe, but I don't think I did the whole thing. Also, check this out. I think that's because I kicked an enemy through the door and then the cutscene started.
That would make sense.
So I think his targeting reticle stayed.
Oh my god, it's the guy from The Prodigy.
Rest in peace. I don't want to guess the name because I'll get it wrong. Is it Liam? It might be Liam.
Oh, I called him the guy from The Prodigy because I couldn't remember either, so...
I thought Liam was the guy from Oasis.
Believe it or not, some people have multiple... people can share names. There's some names that get...
Some people have multiple names.
You gotta trademark that shit.
Yeah.
Keith Flint says I am headful in chat, thank you.
By the way, this area I'm down here is the one where I jumped down and Ghost died.
Well, yeah, look at it. It's dangerous. It's risky.
And then he jumps up anyway.
What?
I was hoping he still wouldn't make it. Like, he crashed out of his fist, but...
Weird framing. That weird cut. Weird edit.
I want to show this shadow because I don't think it's intentional, but it kind of looks like a cat head. And there's two of them. And yeah, the rest of his is identical. So this is interesting. There's some editing to fix the timing on this. If you see the top one go black and white, that's me pausing it. This is almost identical.
You're looking for your friend, but you will never find them.
And you're gonna help me.
You're gonna help me.
No kidding. This is almost identical.
I can have this room full of my
So
husband's
some of the footage of her they've reused, like this stuff here, but not all of it, as you'll see.
A long time ago, I did not even know what that question meant. Now,
So either campaign you play, they treat it as they're the main character. And yeah, you even get like alternative shots. It's so strange.
If they were to die,
You know, you get bored filming the same scene twice. And you're like, hey, you know what? What if we lingered here just a moment longer?
I do enjoy the taste of tears. But there is something I enjoy so much more.
Yahtzee.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the Powerade promotion again.
Very deep inside you. Hidden. Perhaps from yourself. Perhaps from yourself. I see it. But I see there, like a flame, creating such.
Back off.
Back off. You're in love. Are you not?
I want to see
If you
who
want me to help,
Ghost says is his person that he's
please kiss me.
whatever fighting for.
Yeah.
What? If you kiss me, as if you were kissing your true love, I'll tell you where your friend is.
How about I shoot you in your kneecaps
I
instead?
could beat it out of you.
Okay. At this point, it very deviates, so I've muted the top one now. But yeah, they got her to film this twice with both actors. It's very strange.
And then she did this exact same scene again in the third movie.
Have to make me believe.
And then the one on the top and one on the bottom look at each other and they start kissing.
If only. My editing's not that good.
Oh my. Unrequited love. Such longing for something you will never have. How deliciously tragic.
Now tell me what
And sadly, no, they do not say who it is.
Oh.
I think I know.
Husband, you're coming.
Oh.
I think it's Trinity.
Okay, I thought it was that. But then when we get to the Trinity stuff later, there's something about the way that scene plays out that will probably change your mind.
No, I don't think it will, because I kind of
Well, we'll see.
know
We'll
a
see.
little bit about the background of this character.
Okay, so this is, you know, when you're escaping from the twins. Now, I had a lot of trouble with this level. For a multitude of reasons. The first reason is Niobe forgets how to navigate around other cars here.
Ooh, that's no good.
In the other missions where her AI is driving, she can actually change lanes and get around stuff. The second thing is these twins are ghosts, so you can't actually hurt them. And their car's invincible as well.
So then what are you
And for
supposed
a
to
while-
do then?
Yeah, so for a while I couldn't quite figure out what to do. And if you watch, like, look how quickly the health goes down. So, because you'd think, I thought the logic of the way they worked was like, okay, if they're in ghost form, they can't attack. So surely you have to attack them to stun them. Nope. So, here we go. So what I found out is that as long as you don't look at them, they will not shoot at you.
Oh, see, that's my strategy.
It's like
too,
Boo
for
logic
life.
in Super Mario
Yeah.
World, yeah.
You still have to shoot these cars out the way for Niobe.
Or the opposite of Boo logic, I mean.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because she will not get around them. But see, look at my health. It's like barely gone down.
Strange,
They'll
you
still-
just pretend
yeah.
they don't exist and...
Because look, I looked back, see, they're shooting me now. And they stop.
You know what? It's like that thing in Devil May Cry where they don't attack you if they're off camera.
This might be one of the most, like, unfinished bits. Just, like, the AI driving not working. Also, listen carefully here. There's just, like, weird slow-down car noises during the loading screen there. It's really
I was gonna say,
funny.
is your washing machine finished? Or...
Yeah. So, here we go. Here's that Trinity stuff you were referencing. Also, I'm going to say, I don't know if it's because the, like, Zen character they're asking the actor to play. Some of Ghost's line reads are very non-acted. As you'll see this cutscene.
They might be going for like the JC Denton kind of thing.
Oh,
See what I mean? Oh
Oof,
no.
ouchie.
I didn't think you'd have the guts to come back here after the last ass whipping I gave you.
That, dear brother, was an act of pure mercy, having beaten you now.
See, here's the thing. They call each other brother and sister.
Gosh, I guess I lost.
They're not actually brother and sister.
Well, they're not.
Your sister was typical of the
They were.
sex must bestow upon members of your sex to cajole them into
I looked it up. According to the wiki, or Cass, you want to explain it?
In a second.
Yeah, there'll be time to explain.
Come on.
Because I kept the fight in. And I don't know how this scene is going to deal with YouTube. Because this is a licensed song.
Oh, now would be the perfect time to talk about
The
it.
car lover
Yes.
says banger music incoming. Which
Yeah.
I assume, yes, this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a
and
cool
I put
scene.
That there
This-
just,
yeah.
I put that there in case it gets muted, so people know why.
So, what I am to understand is that Trinity and Ghost were red-pilled on the same day. They were freed from the Matrix on the same day. So the brother and sister thing is not actual blood brother, blood sister, but more like, you know, we're brothers and sisters in that we were freed on the same day. Like, so they
okay.
feel connected to each other in that way.
Brothers
which would
in
also
arms.
play into Ghost's unrequited love for Trinity here. Knowing that he
wonder-
can't have her, but
I wonder where you're supposed to
and-
learn that, though.
Well, you can learn it on the wiki because that's where I found that information too.
I think there's also another scene in this game that uses another movie actor or actress in some case that may shine some light on the situation.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, looking at this, I think that is in fact what happens. So yeah,
there you
we might shine more. Have you not completed Ghost's campaign?
No.
in the- Okay, then yeah.
I played up to how far we got with Niobe.
Then we may shine a light on that in the next episode, the final episode.
So I can't remember. I might go back and check this. I feel like you might be technically able to lose this fight because when you kind of get to this point, she's kind of just instant blocks a lot of your hits. You can see like a health bar's not really going down right now. Though I did find one move that for some reason she can't block, which is that.
So now time to abuse it.
Yeah, for some reason this air launch just... It's the only move that was damaging her. Also, check this out.
You can tell the devs had fun putting that object in.
Also, check this out.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. You wait right there.
Any minute now, she'll get there. Yeah, this is probably like, is it safe to say this is one of the most fan servicey scenes in this game, and that, you know, this is probably the most you will interact with one of like the characters from the movie.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Because I know Neo is in this game, but it's not as much as Trinity is. Like, there's some references to characters we haven't seen. Though I want to say I think they're entirely only in the hacking part. I was trying to phrase that different and I forgot the words, but yeah, I think you only hear them or see them in the hacking part of the game.
There's something really
Also,
funny to me.
The camera went in a crotch there, I think.
There's something really funny to me about how ungraceful Trinity looks whenever she actually takes a hit. Like, if it's something that knocks her down, like, she doesn't look cool. She looks like she yeah.
Damn, you are good, Ghost.
You're not bad. Just a little distracted.
Yeah, I suppose so. Made a mess of your garden.
I kind of like it.
Ghost, can I ask you a serious question?
Of course.
Do you
You won't get a serious
think
answer.
it's going to end the war?
Yes, I do.
So do I. But I can't explain how or why.
Kierkegaard reminds us that belief is
I
nothing.
need to look at it again.
How or why.
So I've briefly looked at Path of Neo just to look ahead and see if that was something worth streaming someday. And there's that section where he's wearing a kung fu movie outfit. I think it might be based on this outfit that Ghost wears in this scene.
100 years.
It's very similar.
It's complete.
He just has like the red headband and like a red sash.
Faith, by its very nature, must transcend logic.
Also, yeah, I still had this problem, but you didn't miss anything.
When are we gonna find you a girlfriend?
Like Augustine, I'm dedicated to a
Oh, okay. There's a question I have. I kept forgetting to look up.
onanism.
What is onanism?
Masturbation.
Masturbating.
Okay, that explains this joke then. I was really confused. I didn't know what that meant.
Thank you, Ghost.
Anytime.
I didn't know there was a whole belief system around it.
Oh, I know people who are like devout practitioners.
All right, in the freeway, I'm assuming this is probably pretty similar, all things told, except now you're shooting instead of driving.
Yeah, so I pretty much just fast forwarded through all this. It's also like surprisingly kind of like, you know, like there's a bit of action, but it's not that intense. But you know, this shows you the difference of Niobe can actually drive around cars. I think that one mission was just unfinished.
Yeah, I'd believe it. Like I said, like we've talked about, this game was definitely rushed to the finish line at a certain point to come out in time with the movie. But, you know, that being said, it still feels more or less feature complete.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on.
I didn't know they took place in the same universe.
Man, I can't believe they put this in the game. That's why.
And that's all I recorded.
All right, thanks, Pat. Did that just to pop me, huh? Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. It's time to get into the game now, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to connect to your computer through Parsec, and you will be able to broadcast this out to us, I presume, hopefully. Giving it just a second. And there we go. All right, we should have sight, we should have sound for the audience at home. Have a little bit of brightening too while we're at it. And yes.
Oh. So yeah, here we are. I think there's some live action stuff that I have to skip at the start because again we looked at it last stream.
Yeah, and we're already getting copyright dinged for movie footage in these.
Yeah.
As it turns out. So
yeah, I think most of it was in that last part.
With any luck at all.
Like, yeah, like highlight reels. Oh no, there you go. Just cut straight to it.
Convenient. Is there like a gallery option in the menus where you can just watch the movies? Like watch all the cutscenes in the game?
Yes, but it's in the hacking game. And
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You have to use a specific viewing app to look at them.
You have to get an app for your phone and connect the thing to your
Break
Xbox
through your
One
rounds.
or
Oh, shit.
PS2.
Kind of. Stealth takedown. Didn't see it coming.
I'm glad there seems to be less phone apps made to connect to games.
Oh yeah, I
days.
mean, after everyone saw what happened with GTA 5 and that stupid app for the dog that they discontinued, then the game became feature incomplete in perpetuity because of that. Yeah, everyone learned from that, I'd like to think.
I will say I did think there were some interesting gimmicks from it. The Metal Gear Solid 5, you could have the map on your phone, the iDroid.
Yeah, that's fun, but
Destiny 2, you could actually find out what the story of the game was.
Fallout 4, you could use it as your Pip-Boy.
Oh, yeah. You know, I've never tried that, actually.
I tried it and found it to be cumbersome and not particularly well implemented. Who'd have thunk?
Whoops. There we go.
That Pip-Boy they sold, or pre-order bonus or whatever, for like Fallout 4. Could you like fit your phone inside of it?
Yes, that's how it worked. Yeah, it was a shell.
And just ask Rooster Teeth how much they love those things, how cool they thought it was. One of the most incredible podcast segments of all time. Just one of the funniest things to ever happen. By the way, for those who don't know, we'll have a little link to like some sort of video. I'm sure there has to be like some YouTube clip of it, but
you've shown it to us enough times. Yeah.
Well, the stream, for the benefit of the stream, for the benefit of the audience.
No,
at home.
I'm saying that yes, there is a link to it out there. Were you going to explain it, or? Were you
I probably should, shouldn't I? So, once upon a time, Fallout 4 was released and came out on various different consoles. I don't know if you know this, and I think it was the PS4 version that was not ideal because Bethesda never knows how to bring their games to Sony platforms. Surprise or fucking prize. And so Jeff Gerstmann, when he reviewed the game, that version of the game in particular, he gave a star lower for Giant Bomb's score for the PS4 version compared to the other versions of the game. Which
I don't think he even reviewed the other versions. That was just his review in general.
Now, what happens is Rooster Teeth, who exist at this time, are heavily in the pockets of Bethesda, right? Are being paid to promote Fallout 4 on their podcasts, on their shows, all over the place. And so there is a clip of, I guess, their video podcast where you see the hosts, the personalities at the table, wearing the Fallout 4 gloves, the Pip-Boys, and talking about Jeff Gerstmann. You would have to imagine that Bethesda put them up to it, or they just felt so brand loyal that they felt personally obligated to attack Jeff Gerstmann, the single most respected journalist in the fields that, as far as, people are... As far as like the general public, as far as people who fancy themselves gamers, Jeff Gerstmann's very prominent, very popular, very well beloved, to say the least. And they go on this fucking spiel about how, look at Jeff Gerstmann from Giant Bomb sipping on wine and eating cheese and crackers while reviewing Fallout. It's a technical mess, he says. And it is just the most embarrassing fucking sell-outy bullshit you'll ever see in your life. And
bearing in mind the guy saying this is like dressed up in Fallout cosplay.
Yeah.
Because he's being paid by Bethesda to do that.
More snipers.
This mission is suddenly looking very...
Listen, I'm gonna take the lead along that path to draw them out. You nail them as soon as they show themselves.
My pleasure.
Slime Dinner asks, when is Rooster Teeth guesting on the channel?
I don't even have to cross that name off the list. The name was on the list.
They crossed themselves off. They took themselves out the game.
So I will give some background to this mission, because if you haven't seen The Matrix Reloaded, this probably doesn't make much sense. I don't remember the specific reason they have to do this. I believe it's related to Neo.
It's the power plant that they're disabling. Yes. They need to disable at the exact moment or before that he opens the door so that there's no security feedback or whatever.
Yeah, to meet the architect, So again, that's the gimmick with this game, where you're kind of completing the story of the movie, is what they were going for.
Yeah, parallel actions. This is what is happening in the background, off screen, to make sure that everything that you see on the screen can go according to plan. Which is a novel concept, which is a novel hook, a novel conceit for one of these movie tie-in games. Certainly better than just redoing the movie scene for scene, then adding 20 more action scenes where they don't fucking belong, right?
Speaking of, I watched you play some Enter the Matrix.
Yeah, that's...
not Enter the Matrix, Path of Neo. Path of Neo.
Which is exactly what Cass just described.
Look, it worked for GoldenEye, right? GoldenEye on N64 is fine, is well enough. In the conceit of that game being what it is, acceptable. There are games that can do it well. There are games that can weave the action in, and you can accept it because it's fun.
I'm just specifically talking about Path of Neo here. Because I don't want to spoil it, but in case we ever cover it, but that's a weird game.
Certainly is.
That's weird decisions they made.
I do want
counting the ending that everyone knows about.
I do want to talk about movie tie-in games, though, because, I mean, this is one of them, to an extent, to the effect that it is Matrix tied in, even if this is not necessarily the movie, the game. It is parallel, which again, novel concept.
Did you know a new Kong game just came out?
A new what game?
Kong.
Oh,
King Kong.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Who? For what? To what end?
I forgot who. I think they're.
Is it still Game Mill?
They are. It's not Game Mill. It is actually not Game Mill, and it is a 2D. Okay, do you remember the game Deadlight at all?
Only
it
by
was
name.
like this 2D platforming kind of thing. Not really a platformer, but you're exploring like a deserted, like rundown town full of zombies and looters and stuff.
I'll take your word for it.
So in this game, it's 2.5D. You are exploring this ruined town that is being actively fucked up by King Kong, but you have to fight against these like gang members of something called Hyena or something. But then every now and then, like King Kong shows up, or just Kong, I guess, shows up, and it is a weird idea for a game. It doesn't look that bad, especially compared to the last Kong game that just came out.
Well, yeah.
So Kong is like Mr. Shakedown from Yakuza 0?
He's more like a set piece thing. I think you befriend him or something. I don't know.
That is like his arc in these recent movies, is that he's, friend to humans. So.
But you were saying the broader point on movie games.
Yeah, which is that, for this to have come out in 2003 when movie tie-in games were at their most generic, like truly, this was the era, while we certainly had plenty of movie tie-in games through the 90s, even some in the 80s, the early 2000s to me are truly like the Bronze Age, the what's worse than bronze? The Copper Age of the movie tie-in game. This is where it became really self-indulgent and just like, games and movies are the same, man, so we should just make the movie exactly, we'll make it better by putting more action in it, because that's what every movie needs, is just endless action. And, that whole train of thought, that whole design philosophy of the era.
I think, on the other hand, if you're going to make an action movie into a game, like, you're going to want it to be mostly action. That's probably what people are actually going there for.
Yeah,
not
but but if you're going to do it, this is my point of contention, is that it should be scenes that do not occur in the movie. It should be things like that build the character out more, like things that are prologue or epilogue, things that happen before the events of the movie or after the events of the movie, things that are new, things that are fresh, or things that are parallel, like they do in Enter the Matrix here. But just adding, to scenes that were previously dialogue scenes in the movie, to take those, to have like 2 lines of lip service paid to them, and then be like, oh no, they found us! Quick, we have to hold out at the coffee shop, I guess.
So not a fan of Minority Report, the game, then?
I can't say I've played it. I
Really?
can't say I have played it.
Oh my god, you have to play it.
I know of it. I know that it's very fun for its ragdolls and throwing people out of windows or whatever the fuck, but just never got around to it.
But in this era of movie tie-in games, of which Minority Report was one, but I'm also reminded of Batman Begins for PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been on some other stuff too, but that was
Yeah.
like kind of, I don't know if ambitious is the word I'm looking for, but it was doing a lot of stuff. It was doing a lot of stuff that you would kind of see end up in the Arkham series. Like, they had this whole idea of like building up a fear meter for enemies,
Like
So if you
intimidating them, effectively. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you do it by sneaking around and like doing stuff from the shadows, and like just the fear of them knowing Batman is here and he is like making himself known. You could get them to surrender. Granted, it wasn't fully fleshed out. It didn't work that great, but they were like dealing with a lot of ideas of like what Batman is beyond just Batman punches people. Interesting game, not great.
But an attempt was made. An effort was made.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, we got
Yeah,
him
that
again.
guy.
We got another floater.
Glitch of the Matrix,
Oh, You know what? I did not include it in the video, but the exact same part of the sewer where an enemy throws like this also happened with Ghost.
Of course.
I
It's
think
just
what
like
it
some
is
weird
'cause there was
collision
a-
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a ledge there, so they're supposed to fall, but for some reason, the detection's off, so they're just in this constant falling state.
God, the spread on the shooting, seeing it in slow motion, seeing how wild, like wildly inaccurate this SMG is.
Yeah, and bear in mind when you're focused, it's more accurate. That's like one of the specific powers of it. Hey, look at that.
Looks like you made it.
I was thinking about it just throughout this playthrough, trying to figure out like why they specifically call it focus, this power that makes you slow down and do all this other stuff. And I remembered that that's what Trinity refers to it in the opening scene of the first movie, where she like after
Focus Trin, yeah, which she's like psyching herself up basically.
And I think that might be where they got it from.
So what you're saying is, if at that moment in the movie she said, "Okay, get hyped," they would have called it the hype meter.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, Trin, bullet time, bullet time, bullet time. Then it would have called it bullet time.
Well, unfortunately,
she just says
Rockstar already had the copyright on that.
She just says to herself, "Fuck 'em up, fuck 'em up, fuck 'em up," and it's the fuck meter.
I don't remember the credits, but I assume they had to license bullet time to say it in Matrix Resurrected, because as far as I understand, Rockstar Games owns that term.
They say it in me. What?
Yes, in a well, it's because
Resurrected
it has
is the newest movie, right? I always get these titles confused.
Because there's a meta plot where Neo's like stuck in a new Matrix. I guess this is spoilers actually. The more I go into it, but
the Game Awards do feature, and he's a game developer, and they mention bullet time as a mechanic in the game that Neo's new avatar makes, which is effectively just the plot of the Matrix in a video game.
Yeah,
which is several layers of meta when you consider that this game exists, right? What are we doing here, Bag?
I don't know. Oh, okay. I don't even know why I went in there. Oh, this is new.
Man, this sniper
really
sucks.
bad. Yeah.
Hey, that's good for me.
12 shots, no kill. The sniper's credo.
SWAT Team 60. or SEAL Team 60, whatever. He is SWAT, so.
Let's get a wall run in. Oh, we're on wall run. Hang on. Let me try again. Nope, never mind.
You know, when this shit works, even if it looks janky, it's great. But when this shit doesn't work, it's the worst.
I would love to have seen that interaction that you just did, or that sequence of events, from like a third-person observer's point of view and in real time. She just runs over, she's getting shot, she takes a hard right, runs at a wall, runs straight up it and flips, runs down, runs into a wall with her face, and then just kicks a guy.
Everything according to plan.
There we go. I don't mean this in a bad way, but this reminds me of a GoldenEye Rogue Agent style level.
Well, you can't say that and have it be nice.
I know.
You can't say that and have it be complimentary.
But I can't lie either.
Like this is a Spectre base or something? Or an octopus base?
Yeah. I saw someone playing the DS version of Rogue Agent, which I owned back in the day, and did play through also for the Rogue Agent article back in the day. I did replay. The person I saw playing it was the Jigga, Jiggeh. Shout outs to him. Oh, in fact, doesn't Twitch have a shout out feature? Can I do?
Yes.
Does that work for anyone, even if they're not in here?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know Twitch stuff. Anyway, the point is I was watching them play the DS version of Rogue Agent, and boy, howdy, I forgot just how rough that is compared to even the roughness of the console version. Boy, howdy.
Oh, who's shooting me? Oh, there we go. Oh, wait.
I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna figure out how to use Twitch to do shoutouts.
Haha. Hold on, let me test it. I might. Oh, there you go. Someone.
Oh, we
did
have to wait 2 minutes before giving another shout out now. You stole it from me.
Oh, wow.
Listen, we get shout out to Video Game King for having been here for so long.
Shout out to Video Game King for holding it
Turn on
down.
for every chat.
Dirty job, but someone's got to do it.
It's just slash shout out and then the name.
Yeah, I got it, but I need to wait 2 minutes before I can
There's
do
also
it.
there's also depending if you've got certain tool stuff like stream elements or power.
Oh, good, Powerade.
Power gives you wings. You were floating for a second there.
Oh, hang on, let's do that again then. Oh yeah. Why is that happening? Hang on. Yep, I guess she's just too short for that one.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I want to get the one that's up here. Let me just. Okay.
Huh?
Can you find me specs on a chlorobromo methane gun?
My pleasure. Here it comes.
Is that a real word?
Launcher. But why is it in a nuclear power plant?
It's used for nuclear accidents where it's impossible to reach a fire with hoses or extinguishers. The gun fires a pressurized cartridge, which explodes, releasing CBM gas. Puts out fires by robbing them of oxygen. One side effect is it causes human lungs to fill with liquid, effectively drowning them.
Thanks.
It's everything I need to know.
So don't chew on it. Got it.
So we made this gun to save lives, but also it kills people.
It's also very effective at taking them. The duality of the GP26 or 25.
I mean, a fire axe will free people from, a burning building if the doors.
It'd also free them from the burden
but...
of living if used in a.
Yeah, that's a real thing according to Video Game King. That's why you got the shout out.
Oh, there you go.
That was amazing.
Well, I'd save that for a rainy day. I'd keep that in reserve.
Or just cause.
Or just use it just burn through all whatever limited ammo you have for it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try and do something with it, but I'm gonna wait until we hit a checkpoint.
Louise PSC in chat says this feels like a crime. Well, you'll be surprised to hear this, but shooting people to death with bullets also a crime, as it turns out.
Also, the hacking stuff they get up to. Typically, that's a big no-no.
Yeah, but hacking's cool, though.
Nah, that's true.
Hacking should be allowed.
All right, here we go.
Huh?
Nope. It's gone. Wind of the void.
Are you trying to use it on yourself? You're trying to see if you can deprive
It
yourself
did not
of
do a lot of damage, look.
Do you think that's CBM gas you're breathing?
Well, now you've burnt through all the ammo for that cool gun.
Reload checkpoint.
Yeah, well...
Or quit the game.
Or toss grenades at the ground and kill yourself with those. Oh, quick, another one. Quick. There you go. Before you have a chance to recover.
I think you can... Yep, you can give your shout out now.
Yes. Louise PSC asks... Oh, you go ahead first.
Yeah, read that. No, you read it, because I have a response.
Did any James Bond villain ever create a bomb that just took oxygen away? I guess like the one in Rogue Agent that erased anything.
No, but
biological.
in Live and Let Die...
There's the one that gives a lot of oxygen, that's compressed air.
Yeah.
But that's a Q-Branch gadget, though, that Bond uses against Yaphet Kotto.
Oh,
I don't remember his character's name. I just remember that's Yaphet Kotto playing the villain, the heavy, in that. He has two names in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, because he has two identities.
Doing a tremendous job with the shit he was given.
And I still couldn't tell you. It's still a matter of contention, of debate. Which Bond movie is more racist, Live and Let Die or You Only Live Twice? Which Charky has gone on the record as saying is his favorite Bond movie. Is their favorite Bond movie of all time. They love every scene in it, especially the ones where Sean Connery is doing Yellowface.
Yep, definitely things that I have said.
I just want to get people in trouble on this show. That's my new goal, is just to get my friends in trouble on the show now. It's just to put words in people's mouths.
Wait. Yeah, no, I knew you were still alive.
Surfacing for the second time. Now, if only you had
There we go.
a gun that could deprive the oxygen of people in the room.
I do have a lot of guns, though. Oh, no, I still have that one.
We need
Let's use this
guns.
for a while.
Lots of guns.
Whoa! Oh,
Okay.
weird. This is not... This is a single fire. I have to...
Yeah, it's semi-auto. You have to, like, pull the trigger
Yeah.
every time.
What if they made a Matrix game, but instead of like one of those radial menus for selecting your guns where it slows down the game and you pick your guns from like a menu,
Which I've always
it just
hated, by the way.
It brings in like the gun racks, and then you pick your
that'd
gun.
be sick if you
That'd
just,
be
like...
worse.
Yeah,
but
it would destroy the flow of gameplay, but...
okay, just continuing my quest to make every game more like Fable 3.
You know, I've
right,
never...
yeah.
Whenever possible, I never use those radial menus to select weapons. I hate them. I hate the way they slow
like
down
'em.
gameplay. Yeah. I would rather just be able to press a button, you know, like on a keyboard, obviously, like having like the number being like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, switch between my pistol, shotgun, chain gun, whatever. But obviously that won't work on a controller. And in those cases, I would literally rather just press like the A button or B button or whatever button to cycle through my weapons. And just remember,
like
like,
'em
this weapon is this many slots away.
I like them especially if they like actively slow down the game, like as in slow-mo kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know a game that
Because-
does it is like Doom 2016 or Eternal or both of them maybe.
Also, Pinball FX 3, if you play the Doom table, you can bring up a radial menu to select your weapon while you're playing pinball,
wow.
and it slows down.
Vidicum King, by the
No,
way,
I
says Terra Enigma comes pretty close to what Charky's talking about. No radial menu since it is an SNES game, but you do have to go to a physical location every time you want to equip new weapons or armor.
And yeah, and then good shout out on the Fable 3 with the menu being a physical room you teleport to every time you press the start button.
That's the one I always think of. It's ridiculous.
Whoa!
I'm not the one, but maybe I'm
You're pretty damn close. Yeah, you're a close second.
I like a system in a action-packed game where you can do something that will slow down time, if only to like give you a moment to reassess and think. Like when I played Final Fantasy 15, I did the thing where it was set up so that if I was not actively moving my character, then the entire game stops. So I can just look around, I can issue a command to my teammates if I need it, but I get it
for a
moment
tactical
being able
menu.
to just stop everything.
For a tactical menu for issuing commands, I get it to a certain extent because obviously, depending on the complexity of the menu and like the complexity of the commands that you can issue, it may behoove you to be like, you know, to slow it down.
I will say, Final Fantasy 15, not that complex. Really isn't, but
I am Headful, by the way, ask
like
frames, or is that on my end? I think slow down on the console that Johnny is playing this off of.
Yeah.
Manifests on the capture card as dropped frames rather than like slow down that I think they would be seeing. Did this real capture solution? I know we joked about this last episode, but it wasn't really a joke. That there's real capture stuff that I know. Again, please visit Johnny Baggett's channel. please go to twitch.tv/JohnnyBaghead to watch them stream a bunch of stuff on real hardware, because we will never stream on real hardware here on the Fat Game Hall of Fame. Over my dead body, will any one of us get a capture card or a device of any sort that pipes in real console stuff? Because it's just more headache than it's possibly worth. It doesn't look that great half the time, causes so many technical issues. Chuck, you keep trying to interrupt me. I don't know why you'd interrupt me during the middle of my rant here about...
you reminded me. I wanted to let the chat know something exciting news. That tomorrow, I'm getting my capture card in the mail. I got a Elgato 4KX, I think it's called. It's like, I think it's their like top of the line one, at least the one that isn't. You put it in the computer physically. So that opens up stuff possibly for us. At least on my end, I have a Switch, a PlayStation 5, and a Wii U, which would also include a Wii. I guess the trick there would be getting the games for some of those things. So folks, check out the Patreon.
Yeah, I'll do the plug. It's a good time for it. Folks, if you like what you see here, if you want to help us make the show better by the day, please consider financially supporting it. Please consider subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon. Bye-bye, Niobe. Consider doing those things. You'll gain access on our Discord server, which I have a button now I can press to automatically hit them with a link to the Discord server, where you'll gain access to a Patreon Saints channel. You can vote on upcoming playthroughs, make suggestions, all that stuff. You can also join the Discord if you're not a financial supporter. You just won't have access to that particular channel. But yeah, know that the money that you send our way gets reinvested directly into the show at this current juncture. Is for the purposes of making this look better, sound better, so on and so forth.
And it's only $300 to buy Devil's Third on eBay, so...
Faravid88 says, I really like how this game looks, to be honest. I think I'm not the one playing. You're welcome. We like this. We think this is good. This didn't review great. It was mixed reviews at the time. And it's certainly a case where, in hindsight, people looking back on the game with the benefit of, hey, boy.
I threw that grenade
Still alive.
Forward. You all saw it.
Just barely. Oh, there we go. He couldn't get it back up. So the game definitely has moments like that, and then some wonderful checkpointing as well as you're about to experience. But ultimately, I think it does look nice. Barring some muddiness, some... What generation is this? 7th gen, 6th gen? I never remember the console.
6th gen.
I will never, ever remember the numbers of the generations compared to... Anyway, the 6th gen, 6th gen muddiness, 6th gen inconsistency, and then low poly and whatever. But ultimately, they had a lot of production money to work with here for the development of this game, and they put it to use as efficiently as they could. And I think it plays neat too, barring, again, some things that are clearly unfinished, some things that are clearly unpolished, that we were rushed in order to meet due dates for this game.
I could pretty quickly tell you mostly what any console is for any gen until 3rd gen. 1st and 2nd gen, I just...
Those are the only ones I fucking know. Those are the only ones I actually remember offhand.
The only ones I know is 1st gen would definitely be like the Odyssey. And 2nd gen would be the Atari 2600, right? Is that correct?
The 1st generation is gonna be the original Magnavox Odyssey, is gonna be basically like built-in devices that we think of like plug and plays now, right? Where it's just a box you plug. Pong consoles. That's precisely the word for it. I was trying to not use it, but I guess Pong consoles is pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? Yeah. So then the 2nd generation is where you start getting into cartridge-based consoles, where you start getting into the VCS and so on and so forth. Yeah.
I have in my mind archetypes of what happens in each generation, like what each generation
represents effectively.
Yeah, like the 4th generation is the generation of everyone using foreground elements that block the gameplay.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
6th generation is we almost got it right with camera controls, but we didn't really have it yet.
What's the 7th gen?
7th gen,
It's
7th
the,
gen,
like, gray and brown.
Bloom.
Yeah,
The Bloom
yeah,
generation
Bloom
is
is
what
way
I
down.
think.
I think of. I kind of think of them slightly differently based on like what console we're
Yeah,
talking
for
about.
sure.
Because Xbox 360, I'm definitely thinking of Brown and Bloom. PlayStation 3, I kind of think more of, as Thor High Heels called it, the Sophistifuture aesthetic, which is this very particular kind of style that a lot of games that Sony was publishing.
And clearly a
looked
play on
like.
Sophistopop, the genre.
Yeah.
Shout out Spandau Ballet. That is one of my favorite bands, by the way. I don't know if
I like that song Gold, and that
Gold's
song,
fucking great.
Yep.
What's
Pleasure.
that song? Mirror Man? Is that one of their songs?
Mirror, yeah, maybe. Not one of my personal favorites, but True. Many hits.
Oh no, Mirror Man was Human League.
It's also a
There we
Michael
go.
Jackson song. I don't know. The Man in the Mirror. It's
The other way around.
the Mirror and the Man.
Woo! The generation thing with consoles also gets confusing because some publishers don't use the same terminology. I believe Electronic Arts doesn't count generations before Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. So, for them, this is the 3rd gen. And
Sure.
yeah, it's just like, why do you have to fucking confuse things?
I mean, also you got Nintendo who just makes their consoles halfway through any given generation.
Yeah, yep.
A little offbeat, a little off kilter. They're a little quirky in that way, if you will. I'm really sick of this level, by the way. I will say that
Yeah,
people
yeah.
in the chat are talking about.
I'm being careful this time.
You have to be, yeah. I completely understand that you're taking it slower just to be safe, to not have to do this a 3rd time.
Yeah.
Tiger Chimera says, this is reflective of exactly what the first Matrix movie was like, the most blank check premise on what you could do with it, and it's just like the most life-sucking places imaginable and some glitches. Well, yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be like a commentary on that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Video Game King says, okay, actual architectural thoughts on this game. The film's drab, uniform, late capitalist alienation is giving way to claustrophobia. Yep, there you go.
No, something, I watched a video recently that talked about, like, older structure in video games and reminded me of stuff like GoldenEye on Nintendo 64, where the levels were basically built like they were real buildings and would have a lot of kind of drab, unnecessary
rooms, yeah.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot. We do talk about GoldenEye a lot, but we also talk about, like, level design stuff a lot.
This came up specifically during this playthrough on the episode of the airport.
Yeah, and how, good map design, good level design should always begin from a point of playability, in my opinion. And some games that I don't like are most games on the build engine, as it turns out, because I know they're made by different developers at different points in time. There wasn't all just 3D Realms, that, there was some variation, there was some other people who came in, but for whatever reason, I think of build engine games, I especially think of like Redneck Rampage and Shadow Warrior, and all I think of is just like fucking unnecessary rooms that are not fun to have combat encounters in, that are just like, look, we put a pool table here, and like, that's great. Did you make it like so there's any sort of pathfinding that the enemies can do in this room? No? Okay. Then what's the point of the room? I am very utilitarian when it comes to stuff. I'm very like of the mind that if you are designing a level in a video game, you are designing a level in a video game. You're not designing real-world architecture. You can evoke real-world architecture. You can, make it look like, but you need to cheat it. You need to be willing to cheat it. You have to start from the point of fucking, understanding where enemies are going to pop out of the combat encounter being the key thing. Because that is what the key thing in a first-person shooter is, in most action games is. In most games that involve combat, in real-life arenas.
I do get kind of tired, though, of, in some games where the arena is, like, very obvious.
Oh, yeah.
Where you walk into a place and you're like, yeah, I see where the fight's happening.
Well, it's good. That's a good thing, because it gives you a moment to size up the environment into, like, as you're walking in, if you're prepping yourself, like, this is going to be a combat arena, it gives you a moment to look around before the enemies spawn and be like, all right, is there cover here? Are there any places that are, like, safe havens? Is there anything I could do, like, as far as, like, routing the enemies or getting away from them if I need to in a pinch? Having that moment to assess a situation.
Though, it's always funny, because I know sometimes you'll play a game like that. A great example is a Gears of War, where you notice where all the chest-high cover is, and it's arranged for both teams. Sometimes you'll go through a level, and there'll be a room like that, and just no one shows up. It's always... Oh, I guess this was a combat encounter they cut from the game, or something.
And that happens.
I mean, it bothers me when it's, like, extremely obvious, like, it's almost like immersion-breakingly obvious, and, like, the Gears of War are like, oh, this room is full of of chest-high walls, kind of thing. Like, that takes me out of it.
Sure, I get that. I get the immersion argument. I get the idea of it being so telegraphed that it's...
Yeah.
Huh?
Hello?
No, behind you. There's still a dude behind you, though.
Oh, we saw his eyes for a sec. Like, one frame there.
I mean, there's a difference between, like, a room that is, like, a big arena and a room that is a big arena with, like, the very obvious posts of, like, this is where you're going to hide. This is also where you're going to hide. This is where you're going to reach, like, the power-up that is obviously here, or something like that.
Oh my god, please tell me this ladder. Thank God.
Didn't get a save prompt, though, weirdly enough.
It still has to checkpoint, though. There still has to be some sort of...
Yeah. I'm gonna eat my snack.
We're in and ready to move. Got it. Go to the augmented radioactive waste area. Plant your first charge there.
Augmented radioactive waste?
It should lead you right to it. That area is locked down. I'm headed to the logistical control center to do some unlocking.
I think that's the first time we've not been privy to the other end of the phone call.
Area above the turbines. He may be heading for the fuel storage rooms. I just lost the woman.
Send half our units to intercept him. I want all remaining exterior...
And the other half to the lady, and then that way we'll have exactly the same amount of enemies in both campaigns.
Radio chatter indicates you're going up against a crack anti-terror SWAT outfit. Be careful.
Oh, I
There's
think the
your
video
save.
they were watching was fake.
That they piped it in just to...
Yeah.
I'd buy that. I'd believe that.
That's smart. I don't think I'd seen that happen in any Matrix films. I like that.
I did want to touch on, because we're having a lot of conversation. It's a very conversational stream, which I like. I like it. I like this for a change of pace sometimes. I'm of the mind that anything in video game is... This is from Video Game King, by the way. I'm of the mind that anything in a video game is expression, meaning that it demands two questions. What do you want to express through a given element? Doesn't always have to be playability. And what does that element currently express? It's always expressing something. Sure, I get that. I get that perspective. And, depending on the game, obviously, like, things are very contextual. Like, obviously, there was a period in my life where I didn't give as much credence as I should have to narrative-driven, especially indie games, like, games that are about... Let's call them what we used to call them, walking simulators, right? Is what the term used to be, and now I think it's, like, immersive or interactive narrative, or... They came up with some, like, better word for it that I don't remember, because, in my mind, just because being from a certain generation, they'll always be walking simulators by Niobe. Not to dismiss them in that way. I've obviously come to respect them and appreciate them a lot more now. Even if they're not my favorite, even though I don't necessarily play them myself, I can at least appreciate the intention.
Base, Sniper 1 in.
And so obviously the goal in those is rarely, if ever, the gameplay, as it were, in the traditional sense. And if they're building an environment in that, they want it to be a real-world location so that you would, feel some sort of connection or immersion in those moments, right? But I think when you're designing a game around action, the intentionality should always come back to the playability, should always come back to the player's ability to intuitively understand, traverse, interact with, and thrive in that environment, to take advantage of the situation. And, if the odds are stacked against them, if it's a dangerous location where it's a hazardous location, that has its own intentionality, it has its own effects, and it encourages different style of play.
Recently, and you were watching me do it. I've been playing a little bit of Call of Duty World War II, and I feel like my gut feeling from having played the early game again is that it does kind of a bad job of that. Like it's definitely got the look of, you know,
a highly polished AAA World War II product. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely got the look of, you know, the bombed out buildings and, you know, Normandy and all that, but it felt like it got in the way a lot of like readability. Like
That's
just
another
at a
big
glance.
issue. Yes.
Yeah, just at a glance being able to say like, I see where the enemies are, I see where my way forward is, like I see what I'm supposed to do in this situation.
Now this time try going through the window instead of
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. That's not good. That's basically the worst way that could have gone.
Yeah. Luckily, they don't really shoot you when you're breaking their necks.
Yeah, when you're close. I mean, realistically, the reason why people don't prefer to have like big, bulky primary weapons in close quarter stuff is because they are cumbersome to aim at people. You'd have to basically like pull the gun backwards if someone is super close to you to avoid, you know, the deal.
The next
So I always keep handguns for close encounters, folks.
Generator maintenance doors unlocked.
That's some solid snake advice right there.
But yeah, readability is definitely another big thing. If I didn't mention it during my little word salad that I was dropping earlier, between all the other jargon I was dropping, laying down, readability, very important. The ability to discern what is happening, who the enemies are, and what the key objects are in an environment. And that's another thing that is typically unserved when your approach to design is realism, real life places, lived in places first, above the encounter, above the gameplay.
Okay, what, next week, let's report in on how well Call of Duty Black Ops 6 handles that.
This is going to immediately date this episode, but oh my god, just, it's 3 more hours. 3 more hours until the game launches, or 4 for you.
It's 4 for me, because I have it on Game Pass, which is not at the same time as everyone else for some reason.
I cannot fucking wait. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to the viewers at home who expect better of me than to be like a Call of Duty fan. But
we've talked about that both of us really like Call of Duty before.
Yeah, and you know, obviously I haven't kept up with all the recent ones. You know, I've definitely had my burnout period, but playing that Black Ops 6 beta, boy howdy, I am so fucking excited for it in a way that I've not been excited for a game for a while. That movement is buttery smooth.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about going into the campaign because, like, the only Black Ops... Okay, let me rephrase that. The only Black Ops that I've played through the campaign for was the first one.
It's one of the better ones. I like Black Ops 2's campaign a lot. Then I didn't play 3 or 4 or 5.
I'm going to be so lost on this plot. Because,
I don't think so. I think it's standalone.
I played the start of Cold War because I figured that would be standalone. And then the very start of the game, like, they're like, oop.
Find the generator marked number 1. That's the primary. The others will auto shut down when this one blows.
Anyway, at the very start of the game, it's clear that you're playing as Alex Mason. I was like, oh, fuck. All right, they're carrying over characters. I don't know what the fuck Alex Mason's doing.
It's a reboot continuity in the same way that the new Modern Warfare games are a reboot continuity of...
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
As I am to understand, yes.
Now, what about the plot of Zombies?
I think the Zombies universe is also contiguous in its own stupid way.
Yeah,
I never touch
what I'm
zombie
saying,
stuff.
What I'm saying about Zombies is that, from what I understand, that is like the most convoluted story in the entirety of Call of Duty.
Wouldn't surprise me to hear that, from what I've heard of it, from the brief snippets. But also, I'll never play it and find out.
No, here's what I was about to tell you. I want to play with you at some point. I want to like give it a shot.
Okay.
See if we can mine some enjoyment out of it.
All right, that's fair. As long as it's with friends. I just can't imagine playing with randos who are obsessed with triggering every single Easter egg every single time on every single map, and it's just like, don't you get bored of seeing the same like thing over and over again? But I guess people keep playing Payday 2, and keep insisting on 100%ing every level in that and triggering all the elaborate Easter eggs in that instead of just like playing the fucking game. But you know, that's different strokes, different folks. My tastes are not always going to align with yours at home. In fact, very frequently they will misalign. In fact, it's almost like, you know, the whole thing about the Bad Game Hall of Fame is that I'm standing up for games that no one else would stand up for.
Like Call of Duty.
Like Call of Duty.
Your grenades suck.
Yep. It's because you have to hold a button, triangle, that's used for other things. So you can't... There's no system to dictate like what angle and strength you want to throw them at.
But it just seems like every time you throw your grenade, it does everything it can to come back to you.
Yeah. Well, okay, it's because it's the widest, highest arc ever, so it usually bounces off the ceiling.
So Stuff asks, when is the Ghost stream coming? Well, I'm already
Call of Duty
drinking Ghost
Ghosts.
right here.
I think is what is meant here. At some point. I mean, that game is pretty bad. It is a game that burnt me out on Call of Duty, like, immediately. No more FPSs, by the way, says, I love the NES and SNES platformers, and they hate them, please. They instead of HE. Yeah, no, that is the big point of contention, isn't it? I will admit that it is slightly performative when I talk about platformers, and especially the SNES platformers. I will confess, I will break kayfabe a little bit, just because they're not my favorites. But, you know, I get it. I get why they're important. If we're lifting the veil a little bit here, I obviously understand that those were, like, very formative games at a certain moment in time, right? If we're talking about generations, we're talking about design and stuff. But, it doesn't mean I gotta like them. Tiger Chimera, to that effect, says, I'm on board with the bad game stuff, but we have vastly different tastes when it comes to basic genre stuff. Yeah, no, absolutely. I fully... Life is an outlier here. Life is a contrarian. Me and my best buddy, Armand White, of the film criticism world. Wait, that's why we have different people on the show, right? That's why we're introducing more people who have different tastes, who can play games that I would otherwise not give a fair shot to, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, me and Cass, who've been doing this for a while, like, we have very different tastes in games as well. Like, they do intersect sometimes in terms of, like, what we like, but, like, I really like fighting games, for example. I know Cass appreciates, but does not really like fighting games.
Yeah, no, that's a fair way to put it. A very entertaining contrarian, says Frank Gothic. Thank you. God, I would hope so. For people to keep tuning into this. Well,
all right, so I mentioned that. So the reason why I'm having a bit of hard time on this,
Bag, your thing is crashing, burning right now.
Sorry.
The gameplay, it dropped to like 1 frame a second and was.
That's weird. It did not for me though. Looks fine on my end. I mean, granted, you're the one streaming out, which is the important thing.
Important bit. Try it now. Let's see if it fixed itself. Yeah, okay. It was just like probably like packet dropping.
Yeah.
Momentarily.
Emerald Sundisk asks if we do DS games. If the situation calls for it, we've done it on... I think we've done some on like a theme night before, and I know there is something coming up where we're going to briefly show a DS game in the future.
We have ways to show DS games on stream. I'd have to work on like, the screen arrangement to a point where I'm happy with it, but there are ways.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever like done a dedicated playthrough of a DS game. I know like at least one off the top of my head that we would probably do, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Wait for Bubble Bobble Revolution coming soon. I don't know if it's coming soon or not. Eventually, though, that broken ass Bubble Bobble game where you literally can't make it past like the 1/5 mark of the game because the cartridge is corrupted and the boss doesn't load. That's a whole thing. Ooh. We'll get to that when we get to that. Slime Generator asks, Cass, did you like Toy Story 3? I never watched that. Why would I watch that? Why would I watch a 3rd Toy Story movie? That'd be like if they released a 4th Toy Story movie. It's just unnecessary, right?
You stuck?
No. I needed my focus to regen. Okay. So yeah, these enemies have a lot more armor than anything we've been seeing before, and that's why this area is a bit of a slog to get through. Like for example here, I'll go back with the shotgun. Like the shotgun very rarely actually one-hit kills, even if you're touching an enemy.
What's the point of having a fucking shotgun? Oh, whatever.
Well, it still the quickest weapon close range.
I don't know. Shotguns video games for me live and die by their ability to one-shot. At close range. You know, if that's the balance, if that's the Faustian bargain that we've signed to get shotguns in the video games, that they only work at close range, you know, you can't have slugs in a shotgun, I guess. Hey, then they need to at least kill at close range immediately.
All right, here's my opinion on FPSs. If you melee an opponent, that should just kill him.
Yeah. That's the knife in Call of Duty, right?
Yep, but I've definitely played some games, including some Call of Duties,
where they walk that back because people get mad about... You know, my solution for people who are mad about like getting one-hit killed by shotguns or by knives is don't let enemies get close to you. Glad I could help. Glad I could solve that one for you. Be careful. Be aware. Be spatially aware. I have very strong opinions.
Says, in reference to the DS stuff we were talking about earlier, the Bad Game Hall of Fame playthrough of Sprung. Two things about that. One, I think generally the funniest parts of Sprung are just using the pepper spray on everyone.
Yeah.
That's pretty much most of the enjoyment of that game. And two, I'm not so sure about visual novels on this stream.
Yeah, nah, that's not our bag. I know friends of the show, Chorps Away and DV's Vacuum, do their date nights, where they do VNs to a certain extent, but for our pacing, for what we're about, we generally avoid games that are exclusively reading, except for Ancient Roman.
The closest we got was Ancient Roman, and I think that was fun to be able to do voices and read all this dialogue and riff on it. But a visual novel doesn't give us, I think, any downtime to do our own talk for the most part, unless we completely halt gameplay.
Yeah, which I'm not always a fan of doing format-wise. Good running there on that tiny little bit of rail. By the way, I also wanted to point out that Emerald Sun Disc says, honestly, there have been some really funny bits out of you lot. The RoboCop playthrough was very good. Finally, someone who appreciates the RoboCop playthrough. Can I just say, thank you. Someone watched the RoboCop playthrough, Sharky. Isn't that great? There's some playthroughs that I feel like are buried in the archives. That never get viewed because they're old content and because Sharky's microphone was admittedly not the best quality for a moment in time. That is a bit of a hang-up.
Well, actually, you didn't have to worry about my mic quality during parts of RoboCop because during the first stream of that, I got physically sick and had to leave.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I think I came back eventually, but that was... I was not feeling good that night.
There we go.
Video Game King says, I knew I should have said Ping Pals for DS games. Was that the one that looked like Gaia Online? Like all the characters in it?
Yeah.
Luis PSC says, I got kicked banned from Combat Arms for using shotguns in Modern Warfare 2 alternative servers. Snipers can be one-shot close range if you're lucky, like a quick, or no scope, I guess, would be that, right? Tiger Chimera says, much as I liked Ancient Roman, it did feel rough and the cutscenes went on so long you didn't get a chance to talk besides in character. Yeah.
I personally liked the chance to talk in character at length. And,
I was saving this for a special occasion.
Right now.
Thanks.
She didn't pull the pin, did she there?
Yeah. Are you sure this
special occasion. Gonna kill you, Ghost.
Okay,
Whoops.
I'll give them the details. I climb up to the top of the reactor and get to the core.
The Juno reactor. That's just a little joke for the Matrix fans.
You'll also need to keep the control room clear.
Of course.
Once I'm there, you'll use these controls to open the core. I place my bomb inside the core casing. You drag up the control rods and I get the hell out of there.
Direct exposure to the radiation.
I won't be in there for long.
That's suicide.
That casing is 3 feet of steel. It's got to be this way. If we fail, Neo fails. And that cannot happen at any cost.
Spoilers, Niobe won't die from radiation poisoning. Because radiation is a construct anyway, right? It's not real. It's just
well,
imagined.
that's the question. So, stuff that happens in the Matrix, your mind makes real and it affects you outside of it. If you got radiation poisoning in the Matrix, would you somehow have radiation poisoning in the real world?
Maybe your body just shuts down.
Slime Generator says they've never seen a good episode of the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Yeah, I agree.
Well, hey, you keep watching. Maybe it'll happen someday. Just subscribe
keep
so you know.
Subscribe just to keep abreast of.
Yeah.
We'll keep trying if people keep showing up.
The thing I was in the middle of saying was, Tiger Chimera said, it felt rough during ancient Roman when the cutscenes went on for so long. We didn't get to talk precise in character. I mean, personally, I enjoyed having long stretches of talking character, but I also like. I felt like we had the ability to tell jokes by just ad-libbing in the middle of stuff,
This is a talking shop stream. I'm sorry, by the way, if that wasn't what people were expecting, but...
Well, at least during this level. This level is kind of stretching.
Yeah, well, I'm hiding here. Yeah, it's a shame about this game, because there's some levels where you're just going, like, from set piece to set piece and big moments, and then, like, every one third of the game, it swaps to, okay, now you're just stuck in this, like, real-world industrial location for an hour or two. It started with the post office, and then there was the sewers, there was the airport, and now there's this.
I think a big problem is that the shooting gameplay is just not solid enough. That the guns just do not work in the way that they need to for sections like this to go on this long and to remain compelling.
I mean, this is definitely like a melee-focused sort of system.
And yet... and yet, here we are, in a section that exclusively that you live and die by your ability to make people die with your gun.
I'm gonna try something. Oh, never mind. What is that for? Who knows? Because there's no cover here. It's all the railings now.
Which, I definitely don't love conceptually for a level like this that's all wide and open and very vertical, and it's just like, oh, by the way, no fucking cover for, like, huge stretches of it. But I guess you're supposed to use, like, the bullet time to, like, see the bullets coming. You can use your focus to, like, see bullets where they're coming and adjust accordingly. I guess is how I would try to play this.
But then you have these annoying sections where you're just waiting for things to regen.
Well, that's a game balance issue. That's a waiting for meters to recharge issue.
The focus, at least you can recharge with certain close range kills. But the health, you're just kind of stuck waiting.
Would you have taken the trade-off of having less maximum health, but like a more immediate, quicker recharge?
I'm trying to think on that, but the problem is there's some instances where even with this amount of health, it can go down so quickly. Especially if there's snipers around. I'm still confused. There was that moment in the first episode where I gained more focus, and then I died, and I don't know if that actually counted or not.
If that actually if that's actually stuck with it, yeah.
So I don't know if there's some sort of hidden mechanic where you can improve that meter, depending on what you're doing. Oh.
Well, that's definitely interesting, but this game probably should have had some sort of progression system. I'm not usually a fan of half-baked, unnecessary progression systems, but I feel like this game probably could have done something with, having
even if it was
like,
as simple as the Metal Gear Solid 1 thing, where every time you beat a boss, your health just goes up.
I would have probably done it where you can invest points into either focus meter, health meter, accuracy for weapons would be a big one, probably, so you can be like a sharpshooter, and then probably something for like acrobatics for athleticism, so you can do maybe like scale up your ability to do wall running. I guess that would tie into the focus meter, wouldn't it? I guess that would just be part and parcel. So I guess there's three primary stats then.
And and funny enough, that's exactly what Path of Neo has.
Oh, there you go.
Like, a lot of the upgrades you just get as you hit story points, but once you've got I think I got about near the end of the first movie, and that's where they started to have branches of power-ups you could pick.
I mean, people like progression systems for a reason, because it allows you to tailor. So it allows you to like pick and choose which systems to be selective about. Like, what do I actually prioritize as a player? Like, that's inherently what the appeal of that is customizing the game to fit your playstyle. That's the psychological hook of it. I don't know if people didn't know that or not. I don't know if like people have ever bothered to articulate that sentiment, but that's what it is. Because I look at these guns, I look at the where the bullets are going.
Yeah, yeah. It's a very automated shooter. Like, aiming is not your concern, that's the character's concern. Yours is just... it's pure mobility and moving around. But in some ways it works, because with all the interesting movement stuff they're trying to do, like trying to do these flips and that kind of stuff while actually manually aiming at enemies would definitely be a struggle.
Sure, but then I would expect the auto aim to be more reliable, to more consistently hit. I would trust the characters to be experts at what they do and to just like always be hitting those shots, to have full control over the fully automatic weapons, or to at least have like some fully automatic weapons that are accurate enough. Because like I think the big problem here is that all the fully automatic weapons seem like completely dire, seem completely unreliable at any range.
Whew. Let's see.
But also, I'm one of those sickos who thinks that pistols should be viable throughout the entirety of the game, that every game should have great handguns in it, great sidearms, that the handguns should never ever miss. Because, I mean, it's just your hands, they're in your hands, it's where you point. It's the closest thing to just like being able to point at something and watch it blow up.
There we go. See, I'm gonna be careful because I want to get through this, but not die. You know, nothing wastes time like trying to save time.
Yeah, I know that for a fact.
Okay, Sparks, take me through it button by button. Here it is.
Why don't you download that knowledge onto his brain first?
You could have put on like a hazmat suit.
Abrupt.
Yeah. Like I said, talking about some of the way the levels transition, and we looked at it before the stream, that level in the chateau where you literally just in the main hall for 2 seconds. I have a theory that this game wasn't meant to have such harsh like load cuts. Because in both campaigns, yes, you literally go into the chateau main room, you walk from one door to another, and that's the entire level. And even in the level select, it has its own dedicated selection. Oh, yep, this guy again.
He looks like a poser model.
This model is so awkward. It's the shoulders. It's the broad shoulders that really don't work for this model. This is cool, though.
Yeah.
Even if it's goofy as shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give the game credit. You can throw grenades while doing a lot of these moves. It doesn't work as well as this.
Keep running, jump. You're getting shot at. Don't think twice.
Oh, what happened to her arms?
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Man, the agents sure suck in this game.
Yeah, you think they'd be like good shots?
Oh, that was a good gameplay segment there.
I needed a low screen there, though.
I hope this evens the odds a bit.
What? Fuck it.
Drugs.
Steroids. Let's go.
Just some horse crank. All right, sure.
Louis
you have infinite
PSC.
focus now
look.
or something?
Yes, I do. Look.
Oh, hell yes. Louis PSC, by the way, in reference to me talking about how much I love handguns in games, said, Pistols are the swords of guns. Everyone likes swords. You should watch Romeo plus Juliet, Baz Luhrmann.
I love that movie.
Where
Let me grab my long sword.
Now, Romeo
That's the
plus
one bit I remember from that movie.
Romeo plus Juliet. Seen it. Loved
Very
it.
good. Yeah, no, rules.
I would definitely not mind watching that movie again, to be honest.
Okay, where am I supposed to go, though? Oh, you know what?
It's agent escape, not agent confrontation.
Yeah, but do we have to get into this room, is the question? No.
No! Okay.
Well,
I have infinite focus, so... Oh man, even with focus.
Who would have thought that all you need to stand toe-to-toe with an agent is just drugs pumped directly into your real-life body?
Oh, okay, I think this door's open now. I don't think it was open earlier. Hey, you gotta extend the game run... Nope. Never
What if
mind.
you use the gas gun on the agent?
They tried to write up Sparks for keeping, like, crates full of ketamine.
Fucking dodge this,
on the Nebuchadnezzar, but... You think agents need to breathe?
Well, he didn't like it.
A little bit.
I think that worked.
Yeah, fuck you.
That worked? That actually did work!
Yeah.
He's gonna get back up, right? Right?
Well, he might not get back up, but he might just possess a future...
Another body, yeah.
But where am I supposed to go?
Well, at least you have time to figure it out now. At least you have the option to figure it out.
I did check this door, right? Yeah.
Can't believe that shit worked. I guess they didn't account for people still having ammo left over for that gun. They're like, they're gonna burn through it by now, right?
Oh,
there you go.
Oh, hey, Minnie. Sorry, my cat's rubbing on the mic again.
Welcome to the 5th member. Bagging all the fame.
Going up.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Oh, those are agents. This would be cool if it wasn't so
travel
janky.
faster. Yeah, with the shake. You do travel faster while you're in focus, though. Whoa.
You can put the save after, like, the conclusion to the scene where we see them jump out the window.
Miss. Oh, I guess she's not aiming for the car.
Okay, I'm not entirely sure. This looks like it might be pre-rendered, and it might be the only, like, in-game pre-rendered cutscene. Just like the resolution looks different to me.
Yeah, this is pre-rendered. There's artifacting in the, there's compression on the smoke in particular.
Yeah.
I think
because it transitions to that shot. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Can't believe it.
We did it.
Did what?
Okay, give it a sec. This will fix itself.
I mean, it didn't work. Whatever was supposed to happen didn't happen. Something's gone wrong.
Actually, pretty good at Finn. You can't see it because that is a scene from the movie. I don't know why it's taking so long to come up.
Real hardware, folks.
Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah, here we go.
What was that?
You think it was an EMP? How?
Just my capture card picked up. That was the DMCA somehow.
Sir, we've just lost contact with the Icarus.
What?
And the Novalis, and the Caduceus.
How was that?
I love the name, that one. The Kadoosh.
God damn it, what the hell is happening?
One minute everything's fine, the next all hell breaks loose. Now there's no sign of Morpheus, Trinity, or Neo. Everyone's gone.
Well, then who's that?
I don't know.
Spam call. We've been trying to reach you about your car insurance.
Baby.
They really don't like Sparks, these two.
My name is Seraph. I bring word from the Oracle. You must come at once.
I hate it when people don't say goodbye before handing up.
No manners.
It's always weird when you're watching movies
all
and people
future.
just People just naturally know when a phone conversation's done. They don't have to say, "Oh, we're done now. Goodbye." It's the taxi ride out.
Tea house is at the end of Wuping Avenue.
Got it.
Oh,
Thank you for.
there was some weird polygons there. I'm gonna have to get a screenshot of that later.
I can take you to her, but before I do, let me first apologize
For what?
for this.
Again, just straight up scenes from the movie.
Yep.
But with
The
different
second time we've
characters.
seen that in this game.
Whoops.
So this is... I wonder if Ghost gets this fight too. I'd have to imagine they do. Which means that Ghost gets like 2 movie-type fights. You know, the one against Trinity in the Zen Garden, and then this.
You don't think the fight against Vlad was a movie-type fight?
Not particularly, believe it. I guess you did get that. I guess that's as close as your... I guess that is the make good for Niobe for her campaign. This seems like a very cramped place to fight in, but I guess that's fine for what this fight is.
I could be remembering wrong. I thought there were... You know, I might be thinking of Path of Neo, where there's a fight with Seraph here and you, like, knock him through walls and stuff.
Oh!
Well, I knocked him on the table.
And through it.
I'll take it. I want to parry him. There we go.
Didn't seem super effective. Didn't give you like a free hit or anything on him. Oh, thank God the objective marker popped up for a second there. The objective is Seraph. He's right there, by the way. Dead ahead.
Enough. Again, I apologize, but these are difficult times, and it falls.
There's no smoother way to transition there. It was the best they could do.
What? Wait, whoa! What?
Oh, I dropped my controller. Give me a sec, folks.
This when we think we're out, the game pulls us back in, huh?
Oh, sorry. Niobe's talking to Oracle here.
No more fooling around.
Can't rewind, it's real hardware.
Unfortunately.
Do I know you?
You know me, though you may not recognize me.
It's something with this game specifically, because when I stream
there we go.
Other stuff, it doesn't do it this bad.
Any of you.
It must be using some like really weird resolution for these filmed cutscenes.
The face you remember was the face I was still wearing. But that face is gone.
Oh.
If you are the Oracle.
If you didn't see Matrix Reloaded like Sharky, that's a reference to that the actress who played Oracle in the first movie
and the second
passed
movie.
away. Yeah, but she passed away like in the middle of filming the second one.
No, in the middle of filming the third one because they were filmed concurrently, 2 and 3. So this game is pre-tensing, is the first you would see of this new Oracle before the third movie.
Well, okay, I think the second and the third movie they were basically filming at the same time.
Effectively, but they still they got all of her the original actress's scenes done for 2, and then they did not get them in time for the game before they passed. So this game is the first preview of the new Oracle.
Yeah, but that shows you how tight the scheduling was around this. It must have been hell to work on all these projects.
Oh,
at the
absolutely.
time. Like essentially filming 3 movies and then you got all the animatrix stuff.
It's mine.
And I don't know when the MMO launched.
Now he lies trapped in a place.
But that had Wachowski's doing writing for that.
What they're talking about here is the end of the movie. This is already past the events of Matrix Reloaded.
But she will have to.
This is getting into Matrix 3.
Do it.
Oh, nice.
Can I help?
That's why I called. I cannot tell you what is.
The Car Love asked, didn't Reload and Revolution come in the same year?
If you are given a chance.
I want to say no.
Yes.
But
find the courage to do what.
Wow. No wonder that third one bombed.
I do.
That's too quick.
I knew everything from the beginning of this path to the end.
I don't understand.
They missed an entire line of subtitle there.
Beyond the end.
The end. Are you trying to tell me the world is going to end?
Yes. If we cannot save it, it will end.
You mean Neo?
I mean we. The path of the one is made by the many. I have a role to play, just as you have yours.
It is time.
You must go now.
Wait. I need more information. How will I know what to do?
There's an old Chinese proverb I've always liked. The heart never speaks, but you must listen to it to know. You'll know, Niobe. You always do.
Oh, that's good enough for me.
I wish you luck and courage.
Thanks. Same to you.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping for. But perhaps you can help me find him.
You're an agent?
Oh, no, not anymore.
Then what are you?
Me? I suppose you could say I'm the Alpha.
Listen to my podcast.
I am the
Oh no, this is Omega First shit. This is very different.
Oh, which one's gonna be pregnant?
Oh god, maybe all of them. I'm curious how much we're gonna play this, because genuinely Niobe would be fucked in this situation.
No, absolutely. She'd have no chance. Just by the logic of the movie,
I feel like this is just gonna be cutscene
Never mind.
territory. Yep.
Turns out you can push him over real easy.
That's disappointing, I guess. But I guess, again, the logic of the universe.
As far as I can tell, you're in a half-built skyscraper. Alright.
Good to know.
You need to finish building it. Grab a sledgehammer.
Whoa!
Okay, we are getting a version of it. They're breaking through the walls. You are running away. Oh. Which I liked the previous level in this game where you're running away from an agent.
Yeah.
So, good. They just didn't want to do it in that hallway, because what can you do realistically in that hallway, right? If that scene in that location went on much longer, no, it just had to cut to somewhere else.
Oh.
Oops, hang on. There we go. Wanted to make sure I did that right, because I could have...
Uh-oh.
Ah! Okay. Wait, this is genuinely... Whoa, caution! Banks arrow.
There's gonna be a baby crawling around up here and a cat trying to run and save him.
Aha!
Juked him. Elvis Culture Advisor says they played this level over and over when they rented the game.
It was so fun. Or difficult.
Okay. That was a bad check. That was a bad shortcut to try and take. Alright.
Well, it is the quickest, it is the quickest way to the ground floor.
Yeah. I love that guy just Kool-Aids through the wall. Whoa! No, Niobe.
Close but no cigar, Niobe.
I want you to...
No, forward momentum. It's... Elvis Culture Advisor. Oh, this opinion is going to get me in trouble after I respond to this message, after I read this message out loud. It's Proto Mirror's Edge, and one of the reasons I was very hyped for Mirror's Edge when it was announced. Shame about the game, though, huh? Shame about that piece of shit, right? That's,
I like Mirror's Edge.
I fucking
like
hate
Mirror's
it.
Edge.
Sucks. Never enjoyed it.
I haven't played the sequel, the second one, which I heard wasn't as good.
Nah, it's disappointing, yeah. It's a shame.
But
There's nowhere to go but
potential.
up from the first one, so I'm surprised to hear that.
I really like the first one. Although
I'd be curious what you think of the second one, Cass.
Yeah, that one's straight up
One
a
of these
first-person military shooter. Anyway,
Finally, the window.
The first one did make me roll my eyes at the very end, though. Where like spoilers for Mirror's Edge, I guess. I'm not gonna spoil like who says what because I don't remember. But there's some guy, and he's taunting your character, and he's like hanging off the side of like or he's in a helicopter. He's taunting your character. And he's like, what's the character's name in that game? Faith? Is that it?
Yes, Faith's the protag. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, you can't just rest on your heels forever, Faith. One of these days, you're gonna have to make the jump. And I think to myself, oh my god, is it gonna tell me I need to jump onto the helicopter and then end the game? And then the helicopter railing just turns red.
Ugh.
Meaning jump on this. I'm like, oh, come on.
Oh, ground texture. Looks rough there.
I called as soon as I found you. After you left.
Yeah, no. Mirror's Edge 1 does have problems, admittedly, and
I've got agents right behind me.
well, and the sequel. It both sounds like they had some rough development. Whoa! Yippee!
Jump. You know, I can do the some of them try to rhyme bit from Criss Cross's Jump really well. I can do that Spitfire delivery.
The Mickey Mac Daddy?
Yeah. I'm not gonna do it on stream.
Oh, there he is.
I'll do it if someone pays for it. I'll do it for money.
You'll do it when we do a
like
stream.
Criss Cross's Make My Video on the
exactly. A friend of mine did an LP of that game back in the old Something Awful days.
And did too much.
Mr. Swoon. He did all of the Make My Videos.
Oh,
Slime
thank
generator.
you for the gift sub, Slime.
Yeah. I think that's my cue. After this cutscene, after this incredible cutscene. Alright, there we go. I have to warm up. I could bomb this. This could come out horrible. I could completely embarrass myself here. Oh, Smith's trap. That wasn't the trap you were in right there?
Oh, well, we've got 400 meters to go.
There you are. Thought I'd lost you. Chinatown? Again, this is impossible, says the message. Is that Sparks messaging you? Is he like
yes,
on your beeper?
It's kind of hard to see in the bottom right, the bottom left of that little text box. It has his name there.
Let's see if I can do this. Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. Oh, some of them try to rhyme, but they can't. Because I'm the Migga Mac Daddy. I'm the Migga Mac. No, it's not coming out good. It's... Okay. Let me drink something. The good depiction of a sweatshop in a video game, though. Probably the first time I...
Hang on. This lady's just pretending to work.
Oh, my hand. Oh, my hand.
Well, no, this one here is straight up torturing themselves. Their hands going right through. This lady's just like, okay, I'm just going to look busy.
Because I'm the Migga Mac Daddy. I'm the Migga Mac. I'm the Migga Mac Daddy. I'm the Migga Mac. There we go. That's it. Thank you. The video game came redeemed a drink up for chat, so everyone else had to drink.
I remember in the Make My Video game, like the announcer introduces it as, the Miggity Mac Daddy and the Diggity Daddy Mac. So he does both of them.
It's not easy, right? It's not easy to do that.
No, it's definitely not easy.
The car lover says, now after hearing that, will those games ever come up on the show? I have to wonder if the compression on the Sega CD is, if it's severe enough that we won't get immediately copyright flags.
There's also the music, too.
Slime Generator says, definitely could say you're one of the top 4 BG HOF hosts who can rap. We need to get Professor Mtro. That's going to be our 5th seats.
Yeah. We'll one day we'll play, God, what's that rap karaoke game for PS2?
Rapstar,
yeah. We'll do that.
Tricky.
I think that was SingStar, that video you're referring to, where Jeff Gerstmann had two microphones.
Had both microphones, so he's doing both parts of the Run DMC. Yeah, maybe.
I want to say that one was SingStar.
Oh no.
There is a video, I think, of him doing In the Club, and I think that was Rapstar.
This is not looking great back. Well.
I went the wrong way there.
You fuck up once in this, and they don't let you. That's Smith's trap. It's a devious one at that.
I'm really confused because they gave me a tool. They gave me an on-screen text saying, "Oh, you can climb a chain link fence." It's like, okay, well, there's none around here though.
So you can. Oh yeah, I see where it says
no
"I
music
am
this time.
Sparks" in the corner there.
Okay, we don't get mute. Oh, there it is. the orchestra wasn't ready yet. They were still tuning.
I'm Headful says, I like how Professor Emtro keeps coming up, and there's a good chance that most viewers don't even know who he is. I would say there's a very strong chance.
It's like a 99%,
an almost 100% chance.
Folks, join the Discord. Join the hang room. Join our calls, and you will inevitably, invariably be exposed to the rap genius that is Professor Emtro.
Technically, he's just Emtro. Like, Professor Emtro is a persona for his song about overconsumption of sugar.
Okay, let's see. Where
One day I'm just gonna fucking go on to Spotify and listen to that full song.
I avoided that door the first time because I thought that was going to be another Agent Smith coming out of it, but no, that's the way to go. There's just some random opening the door. Okay, that's not an actual door.
But it is the way forward, I guess.
Frank Gothic says, I do get exposed to plenty of interesting stuff on the hang room. It's true. It's a ringing endorsement as far as I'm concerned for our hangouts on the Discord server. Do you think folk in chat who are not in the Discord server know that we do hangouts like basically every night? More or less every night in the server? Because we do.
We say that a lot when we advertise the server.
I will warn people in advance, though, people who are in the Discord server, the next few nights are going to be fucking miserable to be a participant in, because it's just going to be Black Ops 6. It is just going to be me and Sharky playing Black Ops 6 for the foreseeable
I have a feeling.
future.
I honestly, I think we should do that in like the game room sub thing.
Oh, they want to see my ID.
Voice
It's
chat.
my ID, officer.
We'll see.
Just so we can do call-outs and not have to worry about other conversations happening.
Time will tell. We are talking over what is effectively, like, probably one of the coolest set pieces in the game, in my opinion. I think this sequence of levels is many, like, hiccups and traps and, like, dead ends as you may be running into. This, to me, like, running away from the agents is kind of... I think the most interesting thing you could do with these characters, with this side story in the, Matrix universe, is just like, yeah, the agents are really dangerous, and they've always been talked about, or talked up for how dangerous they are, and how tough it is, and how, like, no one can kill them, and you need to experience that firsthand through these characters to really get a sense for that. So I do appreciate these chase levels. Slime Generator says, I come to Bad Game Hall of Fame for only military shooter content. I just fold my arms when that's not happening.
Yeah, fold your arms and turn away from the screen while the stream's on.
Hey, we're still getting the view, right? They're still in the room. It still counts towards our view counts.
Yeah. Morally, it's devastating, though.
Yeah. Tiger Chimera says, I love that when you're talking about how dangerous they are, that the character just getting slammed into the wall with no escape. Accurate gameplay.
Alright.
I think this would be better if there was voiceover for these Sparks things. There should be like a headset.
Yeah.
Or just like some excuse for why you can hear them. Like, I don't care, have Niobe put their cell phone on speakerphone and just like leave it in her pocket. So she's like, just call it out as I'm going.
Yeah, and they have done that. There have been sections where we can hear Sparks talking during gameplay.
Yes. I think it would be good if he was like basically like playing like the role of like a GPS or like is like, you know, left here, hard left. No, wait, right. Like that sort of stuff. Like that sort of tension.
Yeah. Nope, fake door.
You keep going to these doors. I'm guaranteeing you it's none of these doors.
It's just because it is some of these doors, though. That's the problem.
But it's not. Just keep running.
I've definitely gone through doors in this level, though.
But you're not supposed to. Ladder. I think the ladder is real. Never mind, the ladder's fake as shit. Oh, no, wrong side. Of course.
Come on. There you go.
Oh, this is clumsy. This camera positioning is not ideal.
See? Real door. Haha. Oh, 2-door. 3-door. There we go.
Hardline pursuit. Another 340 meters to traverse.
Oh. Thought that was going to be a bad idea, but hey. Ah!
Music just kicked in.
Okay. The music is also chasing you.
It just caught up.
What if the music was diegetic and it was just like attached to one of the agents?
Well, you know,
like
he represents the program that plays MP3s in the Matrix, that plays audio, so...
all the agents are running after you with guns, except for one who's running after you with a jukebox, or a boombox. No jukebox, that works, the agents are strong.
So, I think this SWAT guy blew up that phone, but he didn't move far enough away to...
to spare himself.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I think that's a...
Those are regular enemies, so you could actually kill them, potentially.
Oh, that's lucky. We got health. Oh, look, my focus bar's still, like, longer. I just realized. Like, look at it on the screen.
Yeah, the drugs didn't wear off all the way, I guess.
Don't mind me. Is this hole made for me? Let me
no,
see.
I don't believe so.
Okay, well, I guess I was supposed to just come down.
There probably should be more enemies in sections like this and straightaways like this, by the way.
Also, it's a very pointless button, but I do kind of appreciate some games will give you the look behind just to freak yourself out button.
Yes. Or, you know, like this, you can just rotate the camera to look behind you while moving forward. But, but this ain't that game.
I remember playing a horror game where the conceit was you had to just keep mashing space to run, but there was also a button to look behind you to see the thing chasing you. And I think, like, the good ending was you just had to never look behind you. Like, it didn't exist if you weren't looking. Oh, no, that wasn't the good ending. No, I think the ending for that one was if you never looked behind you, then it turned out you were the one chasing someone else.
Oh, that's cool. Now, I always think of Silent Hill Shared Memories had the look behind you button, but it is solely.
No, look at that cut of meat.
And
look at the ones hanging too. Is this supposed to be like a butcher shop? Because
the slaughterhouse butcher shop.
They don't look like this. They are not arranged like this. There wouldn't just be random meat hanging in the middle of like a random room that's like this open.
It's overstock.
And the thing that's probably like the most impressive about this is like this is a lot of level they had to make that you're just running through.
I wonder if... No, I was going to say I wonder if this was intended to be like an open environment at some point, but that's obviously not within the scope of this game. You have this like a free form, like, you know, knock on doors level. Like there would be no point to that. It wouldn't add anything. So yeah, they did have to design this knowing that half of this would go completely unappreciated or unnoticed because you're so laser focused on just getting away from the agents and so forth.
One thing I do wish we were seeing is Smith like taking over people.
Yes.
Obviously, he doesn't like warp into people like the regular agents, but just seeing him like grab random civilians and
I like to see more people just emerging from in front of you, coming out of walls, coming through doors.
Yeah.
There's so many sectors where you're just running and there's no one ahead of you. You know there's people behind you, but you know part of like the chase is people coming out of sequence, is people getting ahead of you and so forth.
They did a bit of that in the skyscraper, but yeah, now that we're down on the streets here. Oh, go straight up. Yep, that works. Don't worry about the physics on that.
Again, just to have them like bursting through the walls and stuff here doesn't even matter if it makes sense or not. Like spatially, logically, it's the Matrix, you can get away with anything.
Oh, the way this building is built, freaking me out a bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Which way am I going now?
Probably jumping rooftops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a plank there, yeah.
Nope, real fake door. Ah, see him leaping after me. Okay, now this is very... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Mirror's Edge now. There you go. Thankfully, we have Half-Life-esque air control.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, yeah.
See, that climbing the fence, that's all I need. That's all I need to see is just like something like this complete, like if you think about it for more than a second, like did they climb the entire building to get there? Or just, but like, you know, that's fun. It's good, actually.
Yeah.
And you don't like Mirror's Edge.
And I don't like Mirror's Edge because it doesn't control well.
There is actually a couple of levels at the end of the game that are like this in Mirror's Edge, where you find out the like security force has been training their own
parkour task force.
Yes. And it's actually really scary because all you can hear is just like multiple footsteps.
This is gonna go badly.
There you go.
No.
Surprise. I did not think that was going to work, honestly.
I don't think you're supposed to be here, though. Yeah, you're definitely not supposed to be here.
Oh, wow. Well...
Speak for yourself.
Hey, welcome to Boundary Break. Retake the camera where I don't remember what his spiel is.
Where we rotate the camera any direction we want. That's it, surely. Oh, yeah. Look at this stuff.
And now they're just falling off. Yo, this is...
Oh, if you follow this all the way, you'll be able to meet the Wachowskis.
The architect's over there, just looking
I'm
down,
surprised this all
you.
has like collision.
Yeah. This does speak to something I like in games, and if I get immersed enough in a game, I like the idea that no, this isn't a part of the game that's just low detail. They didn't finish rendering this. No, this is how this world physically is.
Because that's not a real world very unfinished. Yeah.
Because that's not a real world concept, but like, you know, it's some of the
it only renders what is necessary, what they expect the users, as it were, the humans, to actually interact with.
Yeah. It's, you know, like some of that backrooms, like fanfic stuff, like goes into that. But just the idea of if our physical world, like one day you were just going somewhere and you just, it ends. There's just a void over here.
You went off the track and no one was looking to correct the path or draw something in front of you, yeah?
You ever see those like photos of like roads where like there's off in the distance, it kind of dips down real low because it's like a hill, but it just kind of looks like cars are driving off into the void.
Driving off the edge of the earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, what is... we might have really broke
You
it.
fucked it.
Huh. Is this where
Okay,
you
I
came
think
from?
That's where we came from.
All right.
So was I supposed to go up?
Well, the music's up here, so...
Yeah, you were going up in this building at a certain point in time, so I assume continue to go up. Yeah, yep.
Oh, hey, that kind of worked out because that killed all the Smiths. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. That's a pro
Make sure we
strat.
can get
But
it.
you can use that one for free, everyone. That was wild. I did not expect to get out of bounds. Just they let you though. They put collision on there. It's wild. Oh jeez, Dark Souls 1, Anno Londo.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
I was about to say, speaking of like rendering stuff that the player would see versus rendering stuff the player wouldn't see. You ever see those videos where they like take the camera out in Dark Souls and there's like so much rendered?
Oh yeah.
Like a ridiculous amount of stuff they render in that game.
Yeah, it's impressive.
I'm really struggling here. I'm trying to keep up. I'm losing the plot. There's way too much weird shit going on around here, and nothing is going the way it's supposed to.
Come on. There we go.
Doors that go nowhere and everywhere. Programs.
Oh, we got out.
Flying agents.
Just skip the part when they get out the chairs. You don't need to see that.
They were gunning straight for us, and then all of a sudden they just stopped.
Just out of EMP range.
What are they doing?
I don't know, but I got a feeling whatever happened to Soren, it's about to happen to us.
Sparks, I want the ship's guns online right now.
Oh, when? When will it end?
I've been asking myself the same question.
Okay,
Don't worry, Sparks. This is...
I remember this part of the game.
Mm-hmm. I believe this is the final level, which I've never done as Niobe.
Really, this is the final. Okay, I remember this part, but I don't remember this being the end.
I mean, where's the go
I
from
don't
here?
remember. I don't remember the end, but
how much further could this game go before it just starts straight up spoiling the third movie, which was not even out yet by the time this game came out? Elvis the Culture Advisor says, "Sewer Shark."
Yep.
Finally.
9, 6, 9er.
Oh, okay. Escape from the Sentinels.
So since you're Niobe, do you have to drive it? Yeah, I guess
Niobe
so.
is pilot.
Niobe takes home the
helm.
Takes helm of the Logos, the fastest hovercraft in the fleet. You'll pilot the ship through ancient steam, sewer, and electrical tunnels with hazards at every turn. Ghost will provide some covering fire, but you'll need to get the ship through the tunnels as fast as possible. Steer. You steer to steer.
Oh, good. Glad they cleared that up.
How do you accelerate? Ah, you accelerate. Okay, good.
Slime Generator says, please be one of those flash game ass avoid the walls flying games. You just go up and down. The only controls you need are up and down. You just gotta keep the helicopter from hitting the green above and below.
Oh, yeah, I could play some copter right now. Okay. L1. That's probably not what I was supposed to say. A sentinel. Oh, that's the F.
F, that's right.
Yeah, because the font in this game like breaks sometimes. Sentinel latches onto your ship. You must destroy it as quickly as possible. Crush them against the hull itself by ramming the ship into small tunnel structures and corroded pipes. Okay. All right.
Oh boy.
Oh, and I could shoot.
Wow, this is just like playing that Windows screensaver with the pipes in it, huh?
Yeah. I've not played Descent, but I'm imagining this is kind of Descent-y.
Not quite. Descent had way more open space. It was less of.
Oh well, yeah.
shooter.
Aside from that. Whoa. Maybe I should not go as. Oh, never mind.
They probably should have just put this on rails, huh? They probably should have just made this a rail shooter section. Ooh, boy, this.
Oh. The perspective on this.
This sucks. I can just straight up, just from looking at this, be like, oh, this is.
Yeah, the FOV is like pretty low as well.
Do you have a third person? Do you have a camera that you can like zoom out? Do you have an alternate perspective? No.
Okay. I definitely. I feel like I definitely played as Ghost because I'm pretty sure Ghost just shoots. This is just.
Son of a yeah. God damn it! Of course.
We have to find the answer by ourselves.
Once this is over, next episode after you've played through all the Ghost stuff, Bag, you're gonna have to tell us like which campaign you thought was better overall.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Frank Gothic redeemed to say something nice, by the way.
It's intense. Not in maybe a good way, but like if you wanted to replicate.
Did you die? Yeah. Did you win? Did you?
I think I won. But like they actually let you go as fast as you probably would in the movie there.
For better or for worse.
They, as much as it probably would have been better to go on rails, like the fact they tried, but it's like short level.
It is our only chance to outrun.
Again, they try so many different gameplay systems in this. It is commendable, even if most of them aren't executed as well, if that was just the main focus.
Slime Generator says, what a suppository sees when you boof it. Thanks. Loading the rabbit hole. We're finally going to see how deep it goes.
Yep.
Finally, the promise delivered on.
You're going to be quizzed at the end. You have to get it right. How deep did the rabbit hole go? 500 meters? 1,000 meters?
I'm trying to show this. Look.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Because it's like forced perspective.
Yeah.
It's like when in first-person shooters, they let you get really close to other people, so you can like get up to their nose and the gun's the same size.
Yeah, I test that out a lot.
Where am I?
This is brutal.
Yeah, if there was...
Ooh.
I'm just hitting buttons just to double-check if there was an alternative camera mode.
I appreciate what they were trying to go for here. I appreciate they wanted to encapsulate this element of the movies, of the ships, in the world of the real, and so forth. Because there are going to be people who, like, liked these scenes a lot in the first and second movies, right? That the people were just like, well, the ships are the coolest part. Like, there's people who watch Star Trek and are just obsessed with, like, the design of, like, the Enterprise or what have you. And they were just like, they just love the ship designs. And so, like, for them, maybe they're eating here. But I don't know. This is controlled so badly, is so muddy, so indecipherable, so unreadable, so uncontrollable. People were comparing this like a pinball, just bouncing off the walls.
Yep.
Slime Generator says, Niobe is the best driver on the team.
Yeah.
And the Culture Advisor says, gritty remake of Rescue on Fractalus.
Yeah, it's something, if it wasn't first person, it would be a lot, probably, I feel like it'd be easier to control, but I'm guessing they probably couldn't do that because the enemies are this weird, like, front layer thing, like, it only works in first person because they only exist in my
Well, I guess we have to see what
perspective.
Ghost's perspective looks like. We have to see if it's rendered from the same perspective or not.
I seem to remember, like, now that I'm getting memories back, I think it's like what you would expect from a rail shooter that takes place in a situation like this.
Just dragging the crosshair across the screen, basically, while
more or less.
things on a track.
Yeah, like Niobe drives, I think, a little bit better. No offense, Bag.
No, none taken.
Tiger Chimera says, this is the only segment of the game that's been in first person. I think I remember the car being third person. You can switch between third person and first person in the car.
No, the car segment was in second person.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We were like some asshole sitting in the back seat, like leaning through the two front seat.
Backseat drivers. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, they're having fun.
Shit, what's that?
This is a good delivery.
Yeah, there's a reason he didn't have any lines in the movie itself. It's Anthony Wong, I believe, the name of the actor of Ghost.
It's funny because this is kind of a recreation of the final scene in Reloaded, where they're trying to fly away from Sentinels and they... Whoa! Oh wow, we've got better frame rate now, though.
Also, I couldn't help it. I couldn't help but notice every time that the scene transitioned away from Niobe, she would like disappear for a frame.
Yeah, popping in
And it did
and
not
out.
happen to Ghost. It was just her.
Why is it now running at 60? I
They
it's
wanted
not
to show off at
controlling
the
any
last
better.
possible second. Be like, by the way, we could have done 60 the whole time.
Yeah, if someone asks you like, oh, what frame rate did the game run? You just remember the last moment. It ran at 60, I think.
Yeah. I mean, granted, we're not. Probably the most stable frame rate version is the Xbox version. But I imagine controlling that would have been way worse because you'd be strafing with the black and white buttons.
Yeah, I did not play this campaign on Xbox, so I wouldn't remember. I wonder if my Xbox still works. Probably, right?
Well, it depends how much you've used it. Sadly, the drives, the lasers do not have a very long shelf life.
Don't tell me that was the last bit of gameplay.
I don't know. I mean, I'll say something nice. At least you don't hit a wall and blow up. That sequence could have been way worse. If you were taking like a ton of damage every time you hit a wall.
Charge the EMP.
EMP. Armed and ready.
How long do we have?
7.
Yeah, this is weirdly basically the same thing that
happens in the movie.
Yeah. What was it? Nebuchadnezzar? Is that Neo ship?
Nebuchadnezzar, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit now! Punch it now!
Now!
What if they don't find us?
They will.
How do you know?
Okay, they're just in the ship talking in the dark right now. You're not missing much.
After that.
Dark for us too.
But I got a feeling it's gonna be one.
It'll pick up. Oh, you know what? Good. This is a trailer from Matrix Revolutions. Oh, there we go.
Okay, yep.
Yeah! They put the meme scene in.
Jigs up, here they come.
Give me full power, full system.
Are we too late?
Loaded ass movie.
I don't
Has
hate
some
it.
good moments, but it is too much of a movie.
And they're trying to make it look like, Niobe and Ghost have any sort of role in the third movie.
Niobe a bit. Ghost, I think we've seen all his scenes in this trailer. If you like what you saw, folks, Matrix Revolution playing in...
Now in theaters.
Now in theaters. It's somewhere. I'm sure there's some indie theater somewhere in the world showing it right now.
Indeed it is.
It's cheeky. It's
Cute
nice to have
ending.
something to look forward to.
Cute. 20 years, a lot changes in 20 years. What can you say? All right. Bag?
Play my fucking screen.
Goddamn right. Okay. Bag, would you do us the honors of taking us through your thoughts on this game, on this campaign? I know we have more. I know we're going to come back to it in some capacity for a fourth episode, but...
Yeah. So, I can reference this. I have a long-running segment on my stream where I tier rank PlayStation 2 games from a very strange categories, but I have a specific category which is called Bad But Good, which is for games where I cannot argue they are well made or good games, but I think they are still enjoyable in spite of that. And I feel confident that I put this in the Bad But Good category. I can't say it's good because it looks rough, like the animations are rough. It has a very dated control scheme, having to turn and run with the left analog stick and you're strafing with the shoulders. But it does such a good job of like encapsulating where Matrix and this kind of pop culture cyberpunk was at the time. You know what?
What?
Let's try and be careful with this because there's vocals now.
It's low enough. Just keep talking over it. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Like, it's a mess, but it's kind of a beautiful mess, and you can see there's so much they were trying for, like all these aspects of the movies. Oh yeah, this is Everessence. So yeah,
there's absolutely copyright hell. So just keep talking.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
But
keep talking so the channel doesn't explode.
They try for the drive-in scenes. They try for the turrets segments, and the pseudo going into the side, like 3D fighter stuff, and representing all the moveset that you would see in the movies, and using motion capture and a lot of the stunt stuff. And then of course, the Wachowskis filming, according to the intro movie, like over an hour of original footage for this and tying it in. Obviously there's drawbacks to that, because I imagine there are a lot of people who saw Matrix Reloaded who didn't play this, and that movie must have felt weird, because it's basically just a bunch of content that they made to be cut in a way. But it's fun.
Oh wait, which way did you say it? Because I might have misheard what you said, because I played without seeing the movie.
Yeah, so the movie feels like the content they made for this feels like cut content, but it was made to be cut, because there's a lot of aspects in the movie that aren't explained until you play this game, and they allude to it very vaguely. So
you're just imagining a cut of the movie that has the scenes that were filmed for this game reincorporated into the edit to make it a more complete movie.
I don't think it would be good, but it feels like that could exist, I
mean, it can't be as bad as like the entire setup for the final Star Wars movie being in Fortnite.
Yes. Yeah. This is better than that. You can put that on the back of the box if it ever gets re-released. Johnny Baghead, it's better than Fortnite, and then just ... so you can take it out,
ringing
out of
endorsement.
context. Yeah. Like, again, it's very ambitious for the time. I need to do some more research on it. I think maybe the version to play, if you were to play this, would be the PC version, because from what I've seen in footage, you can play it like a more normal game where you're strafing and moving with...
I imagine it takes a lot of work. I imagine it takes a lot of like doing to get it to that point, though. Knowing that it released, and it was somewhat compromised, that you had to like do like low LOD models, like to even get the game to run at some point on some level.
Yeah, hopefully there's workarounds with that now, where you don't have to use the low LOD models. But,
with any model.
But I'm curious how the two of you think as spectators on this.
Sharky, you go ahead first.
All right. Well, I'll come at this from the perspective of someone who had played this game, but just haven't played in a very long time. This was like a fun nostalgia trip to go back and see a lot of these things, especially a lot of the moments that I do remember, and remembering why I had fond memories of this game. Like I said, like the vampire thing, for how goofy that was and what a change of pace it was. Some of the car sections. Granted, I was doing the Ghost campaign for that. The movie stuff, which I liked The Matrix at the time, even if I didn't see the second movie, but I thought seeing all the live action stuff was cool. I can see why I didn't remember all of the game, because stuff like the sewer and the power plant is definitely stuff that you'll eventually forget about, because it was such a kind of a nothing section, which is, unfortunate. I didn't have hands-on playing this, so I can't remember how it controls, but I think this still holds up. It's rough, surely, but I'm not sure if I would say bad, but no animals were harmed. I would say it's like bad but good. I would just say like it's
write that down. Write that down. We don't need to write that down. I think we can use that code.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I would call it bad. I would call it maybe a little rough.
Definitely rough.
But I would agree though at the end, good. What about you, Cass?
I was really compelled. I was really interested. I was really invested in watching this play out. I think there are sections of this game that drag on way too long. The sewer, the power plant.
Yeah.
I think those sections definitely bring the game to a grinding halt. And then, the general unpolishedness of it, which I don't mind. a little bit of lack of polish. I like seeing how the sausage gets made. I liked when we got out of bounds and you could see just like the seams of the world. I think the fact that you can do that, people would point to that and say lack of polish, unfinished game, etc. And they're not wrong. It definitely removes from the immersion, but it gives me a better sense of how the game was constructed. So I'm interested. And you have some built-in excuses, being that it is the Matrix, that it is this universe. So you almost have some like built-in excuses for some of the glitchiness and bugginess and so forth.
I feel like if they made a full-on Matrix game now, you would see stuff where you could get out of the world on purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
As like a meta thing.
Oh, yeah.
To be sure. But as far as just like a standalone game, and, I guess what I usually try to do for like these license tie-ins, or, an experiment I like to play in my head, is I divorce the game from the context of the movie universe. I pretend the movies don't exist and the game is a standalone product, and I just judge it based on those merits as a standalone product. I think this game has a lot of depth, especially the hacking stuff. The fact that there's 2 campaigns that do intersect but do have unique properties to them. Definitely replaying some of those levels seems tedious, namely the sewers in the power plant. I guess those 2 levels are really the biggest sticking points I have with this. And maybe the airport too, in that they seem to understand the least, like what the game should be leaning into, or they exist purely to pad out the game. Is more likely. Yeah. But when the game works, it works. When the game is hitting those action set pieces or scenes that are meant to be like reenactments of the scenes from the movie, like that's when it's simply firing on all cylinders. And even divorced from the context of the movie, those are just fun action set pieces. Driving down the freeway, shooting every car in your path, being dogged by the police and having to catch up to the truck and whatnot. Then you have stuff like the chateau where you don't get to use that scene from the movie at all. You don't get to use that location, the grand hall, the foyer with all the axes and the weapons mounted on the walls. Like that's a wasted opportunity. And as a player, you'd be like, man, you really don't get to do anything here. This is really just a bridge between one room and the next. And that's the unfinishedness coming through. That's the lack of time, the lack of ability to get this done to the original vision, the original intention for this game to completely fulfill that. On Shiny's part, definitely coming through in moments like that. But even bearing all that in mind, I think the narrative is interesting. I think the characters, as, flat as they deliberately are, as unemotional as they are, the moments where you do get to see, like, Anthony Wong and Jada Pinkett Smith, like, when their characters do get rattled by something, especially, like, in the Persephone scene. I think that was, like, honestly, seeing Ghost, like, shuddering, like, realizing that they got completely read by the machine about their unrequited love for Trinity, like, that's a great moment. That would be a great moment in the film if the character was, like, more established in the film, if we did have that cut of the movie where these scenes were incorporated into it, that imaginary cut or whatever. That would be, like, a great movie scene. That'd be a scene I would remember from that movie because it speaks to that character. I wish there was more scenes that spoke to the characters in this. There was enough. The dynamic between, like, Sparks and the 2 crew members, I really enjoyed. Him being as obnoxious as he is and being, like, the whiner and, trying to get them out of whatever situation, but ultimately acquiescing and do what he needs to do. Like, that's a strong character trait. That's, it makes him more than just one-dimensional. It makes him the most dynamic character in the game, honestly. It gives him the most to work with, that actor, whoever played Sparks.
So your comedic foil.
Yes. But all in all, again, getting back to my thesis, my idea of this being divorced from the movie, I think this would, if I was playing this game, not having seen the movie, I think the first thing I would want to do is go watch that fucking movie. I want to be like, I'm invested in this world. I want to see what they were cooking, what these Wachowskis, what they would do given the film budget, given just like, that straightforward narrative. But I would still appreciate the fact that I got to have some sort of, not like obviously like direct impact. Like obviously the movie exists as a static element, and the illusion of you contributing to the events of the movie by playing the game it's all very, it's transparent and it doesn't fully work, I don't think. But it's enough of an effort and it's novel enough a concept that I definitely respect the hell out of it and what they were attempting to do here. And if you have to put up with some weaker levels in the gameplay, with some weaker gameplay hooks, some things that really could have used a bit more tightening and polishing, if that's the price to pay for what is an engaging parallel narrative to a movie that most people, like 99% of people who were playing this game were watching the movie. Charky's that 1% who did it the other way around. But ultimately, as a companion piece that it was intended to be, I think it was deeply compelling, deeply fascinating, especially the layers of like the hacking game and these wild ideas they were throwing against the wall, things that we haven't even got the chance to fully explore yet. And now I'm just like really interested to see how that stuff plays into the campaign, how many layers deep the hacking minigame goes. I think I'll have a fuller sort of appreciation for it, but just knowing that stuff is incoming, knowing that stuff is due, knowing that is on the table and is something that you can explore in this game is deeply exciting. In a way that games have largely backed away from, having these layers of metagame within them. So I'll be curious to see it in 2003, what they were able to cook up with your on-screen keyboard and everything, the limitations being what they are, and the layers of inaccessibility that come with it, but still appreciating the intention and the ambition, which is ultimately the story of the game and my feelings on the game as a whole. That's all I got.
All right.
Do we want to do any hacking stuff at the last second here, or do we want to save it for next time?
Yeah, I think it's better to save it for next time, yeah.
I think that is fair. I think that is a fair...
I feel like next episode might be a short one anyway.
Like 2 hours, so we still have to see what happens in Ghost's campaign.
Yeah.
What's different, so that'll be like another 20-30 minutes maybe. And then, an hour and a half of hackery. If memory, if your projections hold true, Bag.
Yeah.
But for now, for the time being, folks, that has been him. That has been Enter the Matrix, or at least Niobe's campaign. That has been the conclusion of the main story, the campaign of Enter the Matrix. We have our opinions on it already, so that's good. Look forward to the next episode. What will be the last episode of this, where we explore what lies in wait in the hacking game and what was unique to Ghost's campaign. Thank you, Johnny Baghead. Thank you for coming on and showcasing this, or for being the one to play it and walk us through it and to do the research and to do all the extra work that comes with a game of this nature, that comes with properly showcasing it to the audience. Again, deeply compelling, deeply interesting, and definitely not a bad game in the traditional sense, in the sense that, it reviewed mixed. And I'm sure there were a few negative reviews, but I still think it earns a place in the show. It is just something that it was too ambitious for its time. Falls apart at the seams in certain spots, but that we can ultimately, that people like us can obviously appreciate and want to share that appreciation. And that's something that I know we've have in common, between Bad Game Hall of Fame and Bad Game Hall of Fame, if you will. That you come from that same school of thought. And that's why, we also want to point viewers, of course, to your channel, to your output, where you routinely play games of this sort of nature, of this sort of disposition, of this sort of level of polish, let's say. And similarly, a lot of them being on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
But take a second to self-promote, please.
Of course, yes. I stream typically every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 p.m. UK time, or that would be roughly 4 p.m. Eastern, I think, currently. That depends on time zones and
Give
stuff.
Give or take, yeah.
I do a lot of real hardware stuff. Not always, but I tend to go for the retro stuff, the genres that speak to me, like a survival horror, a Metroidvania, or these weird niche action games, character action, science action, that kind of thing. Speaking of, I'll be streaming on my channel again this Saturday, where I'm continuing a real hardware playthrough of Luigi's Mansion on GameCube, which is a first-time playthrough for me. So, we'll be, if you're in for more spooky time, I've got you covered.
There you go. The spookiest, truly. Nintendo, the Masters of Fright. And of course, you will also be returning to this channel. The call will come for you.
Well, very soon, in fact.
Very soon, in fact. So again, thank you.
Do we want to? Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead, Sharky. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do we want to talk about what we're going to be doing within the next week?
I don't remember, so go ahead. You go ahead and tell me. This will be news to me, too.
Well, Saturday we have a final Halloween theme coming up. I'll let that be a surprise, but we have one last spooky season theme night this Saturday. The next coming Tuesday, Cass will not be around.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to see Machine Girl play live. That's right, I forgot about that.
So Johnny and I will be bringing back games from a hat. We're going to be doing a collection of PS2 games that we don't really know much about. And then the next Thursday is actually Halloween. We're not going to stream on Halloween, I believe.
Yeah, I'm taking the day off. I don't need to.
So we will finish up Enter the Matrix, I believe, the week after next.
Yeah, we'll come back Thursday. Would that be the 7th, the 6th? Do the math, folks. I don't remember.
Yeah, the 7th. That'll be November the 7th.
All right. Very good. Yeah, and, so stay tuned. With October ending, we're going to return to more regular programming, like we mentioned, all the spooky stuff. Though the Enter the Matrix, well, I guess we're vampires in Enter the Matrix.
Yeah.
I guess we can justify it if we really bend over backwards to do it. Just like someone in the Matrix would bend over backwards to dodge bullets. There you go. Some sort of workshop that one. Yeah, thanks, folks, for tuning in. Thanks for watching along with us. Thanks for sticking through this Matrix playthrough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you like what you saw here tonight, please to consider subscribing on Twitch, pledging on Patreon, joining the Discord server, wherein patrons can join the Patreon Saints channel there, can participate in voting and polling, suggesting games for us to play, so on and so forth. You can still join the Discord server even if you're not a paying member. You just won't have access to that particular channel. But if you can't financially support us, if that's not an option on the table, we completely get it. Just consider, hanging out in the Discord, but also consider sharing these videos with folk. We have a playlist on YouTube. It's called Suggested Viewing. Got about 20 videos on it, handpicked by us to represent the channel, that serve as, we believe, very good onboarding, give people an impression of what the Bad Game Hall of Fame is all about. You may know someone who's a big Matrix fan, and maybe you just want to link them to this playthrough. That works too. We leave it to your discretion, dear viewer. But most of all, overall, we just thank you for tuning into these things. We should see who's streaming at this hour. We should see who's rateable at this current juncture. PS2 games. Speaking of PS2 games, Hexymaniac is playing Siren for the PlayStation 2 in celebration of Spooky Games Month. So that works for me. That's as good a target as any. I do like a Siren. I do appreciate a Siren. So yeah, please to send them our love, let them know we sent you, etc., etc., etc. But again, that will do it for us here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame. The Bag Game Hall of Fame, as it was for this particular playthrough. I have been your operator, Cassidy.
I have been your bad camera angle to drive a ship, Charky.
7437, I'm a baghead. I can't do I don't have any metal tinfoil.
You don't have anything to rattle around.
No.
Oh, I got something.
Bad noise.
Gotta end it on a bad note. That's our style. That's our.
Yeah, give us another bad sound to end it on.
Okay, I can do that for you. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Toodles.